Good evening, Bruchim Abahim Rabotai, or good morning. Ashreinu Shezachinu. How lucky we are to be in Samachta v'chagecha v'yita Ach Sameach, to be in the Ach Sameach. Ach comes to eliminate any sadness, a yonta, that the whole mitzvah, the whole yonta is just to be happy. The main mitzvah of the yonta is just to be happy, not the whole, the main. The Gaon Mevilna says this is the hardest mitzvah in the Torah to keep. When he assessed all the mitzvot of the Torah, so he said the one that he found hardest to keep is this thing. He says for a person to be 8 days straight happy non-stop, in America 9 days, Chutz La'aretz, says that's the hardest thing in the world. But the Yisod Shosh Avodah brings down, in the name of the Ari HaKadosh, that if somebody is happy the whole Sukkot and he has no sadness and no anger the entire time, Muftach, he's guaranteed that he's going to Yotzit Shnato, have a good year. And if you look in the source of what he's quoting, it really says over there that his whole life will be happy. It's an unbelievable thing. So we see that in the Simcha of Sukkot, there's big things. It's not something superficial. It's not something superficial. All right, before I forget, tonight's learning was sponsored for the Refuah Shlema of Yudah Chai ben Leah and the Refuah Shlema Hatzlacha and Shalom Bayit of Daniel ben Hoshana Raba. And I don't like saying this in the same sentence, but La'avdil ben Chaim l'Chaim, Le'ilun Nishmat Eliyahu ben Belo. Hashem should help everybody should have what they need in the best way, with the whole Am Yisrael. So, in order to understand a little bit Hoshana Raba, we're going to go on a few journeys over here, and we see this might be a big opportunity for a lot of people to accomplish a lot of things very easily. In Halichot Shlomo, that's the Sefer Halachah that was quoted from different things from Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, Me'er Shiva, Zecher Tzadik HaKadosh Livracha, Zechut Yagen Aleinu. Shlomo Zalman Auerbach asks that he doesn't understand. The Gemara doesn't talk about Hoshana Raba the way we know it. The Gemara talks about Hoshana Raba. There was a day they had Aravot in the Beit Mikdash, they put by the Mizbeach. It was Yom HaArava. But it doesn't talk about staying up all night and learning Mishneh Torah and reading Tehillim and Mesirat HaPitkaot and Yom Hadin and nothing of the sort. No mention. Most of the Rishonim don't even discuss it, by the way. It was mainly came from, one midrash that we'll discuss soon, Bli Neder, and Sifrei Kabbalah, in the Zohar it's mentioned, and from the Ari on it's mentioned a lot. He says, how could it be, if we have a day that's so critical to you, that this is your make it or break it day, that the Gemara didn't talk about it? Why did the Gemara skip it? The Gemara talks plenty about Rosh Hashanah. The Gemara talks about plenty about Kippur. There's a whole Masechet called Masechet Rosh Hashanah and a whole Masechet called Masechet Yuma. That's on Kippur. Suddenly Hoshana Raba we skipped. It's a pellet. So it could be, maybe it's not such a big deal, right? That would be the answer. But to put things in context, I'm going to start backwards. This coming Thursday, meaning Wednesday night, Thursday, a day after, not Isru Chag Sukkot in America, a day after that, Chafei Tishrei, is the Yomad Ilulah of many great tzaddikim. One which, just saying his name, brings down Rachamim to the world, the Holy Baditcheva of the Yitzchak ben Sashem Baditchev Zechut Yagen Aleinu Amen. As well as the Chatam Sofer. Chatam Sofer, in other words, died. He lived in Chutz La'aretz. He died 2 days after Sukkot. The Chatam Sofer said goodbye to his students before he passed away. Out of all times, when did he say goodbye to his students? On Simchat Torah. That's a weird time to say goodbye to your students. But the Chatam Sofer lived Torah, so he was a Sefer Torah, so that was the time for him to say goodbye. And when he said goodbye to his students, this is what he told them. He didn't look sick, nobody thought he was dying. He told them that he saw in Shamayim that on Rosh Hashanah he passed. They sealed him right away, Sifran Shel Tzadikim. Kippur he passed, his tshuva was accepted. But on Hoshana Raba he didn't pass, and therefore he's going to die right after Sukkot. What does that mean? You get what this story says? That even though it was the Gdol Ador, Rabban Shel Kol Yisrael, says about himself that he saw clearly in Shamayim that he was sealed already Rosh Hashanah like the tzaddikim, b'sifran shel chayim. And on Kippur he did tshuva shlema, everything was perfect, but he didn't succeed to get through the Kedushat Hayom of Hoshana Raba, whatever that means on his level. We have no grasp for what that means at all. the Chatam Sofer's Averot, halavai, our mitzvot should be on the level of his sins. We'd be in very good shape. It's a very famous story that when he went to do Tashlich, so one of his students came right after he was done to do Tashlich. So it was weird, because normally they go with the rabbi to do Tashlich. So he turned to his student and he says, "You're my closest student, why'd you come late? Something wrong?" He was worried about him. So he told him, "I purposely came late." So that became even weirder. He said, "What do you mean purposely?" He said, "Rabbi, your sins are my mitzvot. I was waiting for you to throw away your sins so I could take them from the water. I didn't come to throw anything, I came to take things now." That's the Chatam Sofer. And he said about himself that Hoshana Raba he wasn't able to pass. It means Hoshana Raba is not, this is no joke. There's some serious stuff involved there. So comes up Shem Zalman and Chod Shlomo and he says, so why is it not brought down? Why is it like in the past generations? Yeah, we speak about it a lot, but until relatively recently in history, it wasn't made such a big deal of. The Chatam and Shem Zalman says a pshat that if you didn't say it, I don't know if you'd be allowed to say such a thing. He says it has to be that Chazal, with their great Yirat Shamayim, understood what Hoshana Raba was. And they were scared that if they would reveal what Hoshana Raba is, people would have such a fear in them that they wouldn't be happy on Sukkot. And there was a mitzvah d'oraita, vayita ach sameach. So they decided to deliberately hide the meaning of Hoshana Raba so people should be able to be happy on Sukkot. He said later on, the generations got weak and Yirat Shamayim vanished. And as Yirat Shamayim, disintegrated, so they revealed Hoshana Raba because nobody's scared anyway. So it's not going to interfere with the happiness of Sukkot. That's what Shem Zalman writes, L'alacha. Shem Zalman wasn't a Hasidic Rebbe. He didn't say pshetlach. He wasn't a speaker. He wasn't into inspiration. He was a posek halacha. That's what he writes, L'halacha. The L'halacha, the Chachamim decided in the times of the Talmud, we're not going to explain the whole day of Hoshana Raba because people will take it too hard and they won't be able to enjoy the holiday of Sukkot as a result. Unbelievable thing. Only in the later generations, fine, we could already talk about it. Alright, so that would be on the negative side, but on the positive side. So let's learn a little bit. Comes Yisod Shosh Avodah and writes like this. I'm quoting word for word. Yom HaShvi, on the seventh day, Hoshana Raba, Makifim Sheva Pamim Tabima She'Sefer Torah Alea. We circle the bima that has the Sefer Torah on it 7 times. Vehem tikunim gdolim veniflaim v'noraim ba'elyonot ha'elyonim ha'kdoshim. And these are great, great tikunim in the upper worlds, and I don't know how to describe all the worlds, but in the worlds that are above us, let's call it that way. And he continues over there explaining what all these tikunim are, and he ends up saying an interesting thing. He says when a person wants to perfect himself, so one of the things he has to do to perfect himself is 3, he calls it the 3 elements. He has to perfect the Adam, meaning the persona in him. He has to perfect his dibur, his speech. And he has to perfect his maaseh, his action, to make sure he only does the right actions. So he says that's what Hoshana Raba is. That the Adam, the person, the persona, circles the bima. And that's the tikkun for the Adam. Unbelievable thing. The dibur is the hoshanot by the akafot. Why? Arava resembles, Chazal say, the lips, the mouth, talking. So the tikkun of the dibur is done through the hoshanot. And then the maaseh, the actions, are done through the lulav and etrog. That the lulav is for is for your spine, and the etrog is for your heart, and so on, which makes up your inside, that gives you the strength to do your actions. That's the simple way of explaining it, but there's deeper things to that also. And he says it's an easy to remember this. Why? Because there's a Rashi Tevot. Adam, Aleph, Daled, Mem. There's Rashi Tevot. Aleph is Adam. Daled is dibur, your speech. Mem is maaseh, your actions. And then because of that, he also explains that when we say the Hoshanot, dafka while we're circling the Sefer Torah, not like other people do by mistake, that they say it on the side and then they quickly make circles and whatever, because there's big tikkunim in every move we do. And That means even the little physical movements that you do during these 24 hours makes a huge roshim in Shamayim, a huge thing in heaven, to the point that it could correct the person his whole life. It could turn a person around. Therefore, he writes, the person should be very careful to make sure that he does the akafot the right way, and he goes on and on over there. It's an unbelievable thing. Now, we'll now listen to Midrash. This Midrash, if you don't get chizuk from this Midrash, then I advise you to call Hatzalah and go to Bellevue. You need help. I don't know what to tell you at that point. I mean that seriously, wholeheartedly. The Midrash says like this. Rosh Hashanah, I don't want to quote a lot from inside because I'm saying some things that are a little deep, and I think it's the right thing to do is to quote. The Midrash is in Tehillim, by the way, if anybody wants to know, Yud Zayin Hey. The Midrash says, Rosh Hashanah ba'im kol ba'ei olam v'ovrim lifanav kivnei maron. Rosh Hashanah, the whole world, not only the Jews. That's a mistake. A lot of people in school, they teach the Jews get judged on Rosh Hashanah. That's wrong. Everything in the world gets judged on Rosh Hashanah. The Jews happen to be lucky that they're aware of it. Other people are being judged and they're not even aware of it. So they don't do anything about it. But be'etzim, kol ba'ei olam, everybody gets judged on Rosh Hashanah. Va'af Yisrael, and also the Jews, avrim lefanav im kol ba'ei olam, go together with the rest of the world in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. By the way, you have to understand this Midrash. If the whole world's going, so obviously the Jews are part of the world. Why does the Midrash say everybody goes and also the Jews go? And if anything, it should say the opposite. The Jews go and also the rest of the world. And Hashem says, where his banim chavivim, his beloved children, we should be mentioned first. So there's a very simple answer to this. It's not mine. It's the Badichev. The Kedushas Levi says that the answer is because one of the big things that the Jews use on Rosh Hashanah to get away with what they did last year is they say, God, look at all those drunks that came to you before. Look what they did all year. So yeah, it could be I have a few sins, but in relative to them, I'm doing a lot better. So that's also good, so let me slide. So everyone says, first Hashem takes Kol Ba'ei Maron. He goes to take all the Goyim and Sonei Yisrael and all the bad people. And he judges them for their actions. Then by the time it comes to judge the Jews, he says, hey, they're not bad, they're doing pretty well. They're doing pretty well. It's pretty much like the Board of Education in the United States of America. As the kids get lazier and don't want to study for tests anymore, we make the grades lower and lower and the tests easier, so we have, on the OECD, we still pass for enough percentage that pass high school. So that's really what happens. As the Jews' sins get greater, the Goyim also get lower and lower, so Hashem judges them first. So then relative to them, my kids are doing well. No, that's also good. That's also something. That's the Badichuv's word. V'sarei umot ha'olam, and the leaders, meaning the angels that lead the nations of the world, listen to their arrogance. Omrim, anu nitzachnu v'zachinu badin. They go to judgment in front of God on Rosh Hashanah, and these are angels. At least they should be honest. Hashem allows them to lie. They walk out Rosh Hashanah and they tell the Jewish people, we won on Rosh Hashanah. We came out okay. Interesting Midrash. Ve'ein adam yodea mi nitzeach. And nobody knows who's right. Hashem didn't say who won. Who's right? Did they win? Did we win? Who won over there? Im Yisrael notzchim o umot ha'olam. Did the Goyim win? Or did the Jews win? We don't know. Comes the Midrash and continues. Avar Rosh Hashanah v'chol Yisrael ba'im b'yom ha'kippurim u'mitanim bo. Rosh Hashanah passes, and then the whole Klal Yisrael comes on Yom Kippur and fasts. And it's true. Almost everybody fasts. It's an amazing thing. It's a phenomenon. In Israel this year, they wrote in the paper, 97 point something percent of the people that they surveyed said they fasted on Yom Kippur. It's a Kiddush Hashem. And I'm telling you, the 2% that said they didn't were Arabs. Yeah, so it was 100%. Klal Yisrael holy. It's unbelievable. Everybody fasts Kippur. There's no, everybody. It's an amazing thing. No. So the Klal Yisrael comes and fasts. And listen to what it says, "V'lovshim gadim levanim v'naim," and they wear white, beautiful clothes. See, there is a source to wear white clothing on Kippur. It's not just some made-up thing. The Midrash says that. Ava Yom HaKippurim. Yom Kippur passes. No, we went through Kippur. We had a beautiful Kippur, V'yavach Hashem. Ve'ein adam yodea mi notzeach. We still don't know. Did we win or not? Im Yisraelim umot ha'olam. Comes the Midrash and says, Kivan she'gi'a Yom Tov HaRishon shel HaChag, since the first day of Sukkot comes, v'chol Yisrael gdolim u'ktanim. And the whole Jewish nation, adults and children, because the mitzvah of chinuch for the children as well. They take the lulav in the right hand and they talk in the left hand. Immediately, the whole world knows that the Jews came out victorious retroactively on Rosh Hashanah. Comes the Midrash and continues, "Kivan shehigia yom Hoshana Raba," and when the day of Hoshana Raba comes, notlim arvei nachal, we take the aravot, umakifim sheva akafot. We go around 7 times. V'chazan hakneset omed, and the chazan stands. Listen to these words: Ki malach Elokim. Hashem gives him a strength that he becomes like an angel of God. It's unreal, unreal. To understand what it means exactly, but the Sefer Torah b'zro, and he has the Sefer Torah in his arms. Ve'am mekifim oto dugmat hamizbeach. And Klal Yisrael goes around him like the mizbeach. Shekach shanu rabotenu, the Gemara Masechet Sukkah daf Mei. Shekol yom hayu mekifim et hamizbeach v'omrim Ana Hashem Hoshiana, Ana Hashem Atzlichana. Every day we go around, we do Hoshanot every day. Say Ana Hashem Hoshiana. V'yom hashvi'i, but on the 7th day, mekifim sheva pa'amim. We do it 7 times. Now I'm skipping a few words. The Midrash concludes, Umiyad malchei hasharet smechim, and immediately the angels in Shamayim become very happy. Ve'omrim, and they announce, they say, Nitzchu Yisrael, Nitzchu Yisrael. The Jews won, the Jews won. Ve'gav netzach Yisrael lo yishaker v'lo yinachem, and the eternity of Klal Yisrael is there, meaning is protected. Okay, what the Midrash says, there's not a Hasidic book that came to say some story. There's a Midrash written almost 2,000 years ago in Tehillim. It says, comes Hoshana Raba, you come to Shul, you do Akafot, you learn. In our case, we do more than that. We learn at night and everything, Tikkun Karet, it's unbelievable. Kadosh Baruch Hu in Shamayim sends his malachim to let us know, Nitzchu Yisrael, Nitzchu Yisrael, you won, that's it, you're good. It's an unbelievable thing. There's also Midrash Rabbi Neimor that says not so long, much shorter, but over there it adds on that Hashem sends the Malachim to say, "V'nimchalu avonotehem," and all their sins were forgiven. Lichora, we have to understand, but we learned, we spoke about this, we even spoke about it on Kippur, that Itzumo shel Yom Mechaper, the Gemara says, just Yom Kippur alone, Itzumo shel Yom, just the Kedushat HaYom alone is enough to bring a kapara for Am Yisrael. So why do we have to wait for Hoshana Raba for? What do we have to wait for Hoshana Raba for? Yom Kippur, we should know, no? So let's say we don't hold like that, and we hold you have to be Shav B'Tshuvah. Every one of us had a Hiru Tshuva in Yom Kippur. Everybody had a Hiru Tshuva in Yom Kippur. I gotta share with you an amazing story. I have a business partner who, hopefully this is a temporary situation, because he just became my partner, even though by him this is going on for over 30 years. He's Israeli, Jewish guy, very wealthy, very successful in business, married to a Chinese woman. He didn't even do a fake conversion on one of these sketches. Even that he didn't care to do. Couldn't care less, nothing. Let din, let dayan, nothing counts, everything's a joke. If I would have known this in advance, honestly, I don't become partners with people like that. Because there's no business done. We argue all day. Every morning he hears the speech from me. You know you don't have children. He says, what do you mean? I have 3 beautiful kids. I said, yeah, but al pi halacha, they're not your kids, they're goyim. You have no children. I feel bad for you. You're in your 50s, no kids. It's not too late. Maybe we could fix it. This is the daily routine. And for a few months they were together in business, every time I start, he has a mouth and he goes right back at it. Again, you with your crazy ideas, and you with this, and you with that, every time. And sometimes the language gets nasty. I don't give up. The next day I start all over again. One day he told me, Lo nimas lecha, you don't get sick of saying the same thing every day? I said, honestly, no. I said, Hashem gave us a mitzvah to pray. And Sheikh Neset HaGdolah made us Amidah. I say the same thing 3 times a day, not just once. I said, you're lucky I only do this to you 1 time a day. I said, I have no problem doing this every hour on the hour. No, but it's done in a loving way. We're partners, we get along very well in other areas. Very well. Okay, but Psashat HaKosher before Shana, I don't know what happened. Kitzur, one day, he decided that he wants to give tzedakah. This guy never gave tzedakah in his life. Very wealthy. He overheard me on the phone. I don't know what it was. He liked something he heard. He comes to me and says, Yaakov, I want to give charity. I told him, what charity? Give yourself charity. Become a Jew first. He tells me, no, I want to give charity. So I said, why do you want to give charity? He said, listen, for months all I hear all day is I have no kids, I have no wife, I have no this, I have no that. I don't know if you're right or wrong. I believe you're crazy. But let's say you are right. There is a percentage that you're right. He says, statistically it's 50-50. So on the 50% chance that you're right, I'm going to be in a mess one day. So at least I'll have a few good deeds. I gave some charity. I said, you know what? You're right. At least you should have that. Schar mitzvah, mitzvah. Schar avera, avera. One thing has nothing to do with the other. At least that you should have. He did unbelievable things. Unbelievable things. I was shocked because these guys don't have concepts of giving. It's only us that we got it in our blood from day one. These guys don't. To them, there's no such thing. And he was all out. Help this one and help that one and this and that. Give this one a credit card and this give one just all out. Unreal. Unreal. Erev Kippur, I called him. I want to wish you an easy, meaningful fast. I knew he wasn't planning on fasting. He told me straight out he doesn't fast Kippur. He said he never fasted Kippur in his life. He grew up in Israel, in a kibbutz, over there they didn't fast. He never fasted in his life. So I called him. I figured I'll do reverse psychology. Maybe it'll work. So he starts asking me, what time does the fast start? What time does it end? Is it only food? Can I drink water? Can I this? He didn't know anything. Poor guy, nobody ever told him a thing. I explained to him the fast. I said, listen, you're not holding like going to synagogue, right? I didn't want to tell him, I'd rather you not go to synagogue because you're going to drive, so it's better you stay home. I have an idea for you. The fast starts, whatever it was, 6 o'clock, 6:10, whatever it was. 6:05, drink 2 liters of water, pop 2 sleeping pills, 3 sleeping, whatever you got to do, go to sleep, wake up on Tzei Kippur. At least he's not mechalel. And he fasted. At least that. So he tells me, maybe that's what I'll do. So I don't know. He says, that's worth something? I said, of course it's worth something. He said, if you're going to be awake and turn on the TV and lights and this and that, it's going to be trouble. At least that much you shouldn't do. He said, it's not the ideal, don't get me wrong, but you take what you can get in life. So a lot of times we have clients that are not the ideal either, but we put up with them because we want their money, that's it. So that's it, Hashem will put up with you because he wants his kid back. He said, you know what, I'm in. I'm doing it, I'm in. I figured I'd take advantage. I said, if you want, I'll email you. You could print out at home the prayer of Neilah. So in case you wake up in the afternoon, you could say one prayer on Kippur at least. One prayer. Chazal say, by Tfilat Neilah, af Tfilat Yachid ne'enet. Even a prayer of a Yachid is answered. So even if he doesn't go to shul, a Yachid is also answered by Neilah. Let's say Kippur, he messages me, Yaakov, you won't believe it. I fasted. It was unreal. I felt good about myself. And I even read all those pages that you sent me. Then he tells me, I didn't understand much, but a little, I got the gist of it. I got the idea of it, more or less. He understands Hebrew, but he doesn't understand the Jewish concepts because nobody taught him anything. Fine. Then I tell him, let's say Kippur, it says in Chazal, Yechu Michayil Chayil. Right after Kippur, you start building the sukkah because you go from one mitzvah to the next. I said, we got another holiday coming up, it's Sukkot. So he tells me, well, what do you got to do there? So I explain to him what a sukkah is and what the importance is and what. So he tells me, what does it say in the Torah? Now he became a Talmid Chacham suddenly. What does it say? So I told him, it's called Ezrach B'Yisrael, Yeshuv HaSukkot. I said, all Jewish people should sit in the sukkah. And then of course I had to stick it in because I couldn't control myself. I said, it's brought down in Sifrei Kabbalah that a goy is not allowed to go into the sukkah. So we'll build you a sukkah and you sit alone. I couldn't, I had to say it. So he tells me, I don't know if I'm holding by that yet. I don't know if I'm holding by that yet. So I told him, okay, you're not going to sit in the sukkah. What about lulav and etrog? That takes 30 seconds. You willing to do that at least? He says, that's what the Chabad guys do in Tel Aviv on the streets. They go, I said, yeah, exactly. The mitzvah tanks, exactly. He says, yeah, I'm down with that. He says, you going to send me one? I said, I'll try, yeah. I said, what do you want? A sketch one, a good one? He said, I want the best. Whatever I do in my life, I do the best. I want the best. He said I bought him a lulav and etrog, but I couldn't get it to him, whatever, I ran into some problem. Yitzhak worked overtime, and it's already Erev Sukkot, and he didn't get his lulav and etrog. I said, this guy's finally willing to do a mitzvah, and now I'm the one holding him back. There's bad news. So I called a friend of mine, it was a Chabad rabbi, who lives a few miles away from the guy. And I figured that rabbi probably has a few extra lulavim and etrogim. He always has everything extra in his house. I said, maybe you got one, you could bring this guy, finally he's willing to do a mitzvah and show him what you do and how to say the blessing or whatever. He said, I'm going to go. I was so happy. I said, thank you very much. Goodbye. I started the holiday. I didn't know anything. At the end of the holiday, he calls me. And I hear in his voice, he doesn't sound good. I said, everything's all right with you, my friend? He says, no. I said, what do you mean? He says, you killed me. I said, what do you mean? What did I do to you? What do you want from me now? He says, you won't believe it. He told this rabbi to bring me to lulav and etrog. His kid got injured at Erev Sukkot. Look how far the Yetzirah works. He sees a Jew wants to do lulav and etrog. He injures the rabbi's kid, so he shouldn't be able to make it to bring him the lulav and etrog. And the rabbi called me to apologize a minute before the holiday. He told me he has 1 minute to be on the phone because he has to hang up. It's already the holiday. He was in the hospital with his kid and that. He said, but don't worry. You want to do a mitzvah, God's going to arrange you a lulav and etrog. This is what he told me. And I laughed. I said, what's going to fall from the sky? What's going to happen exactly? He said, and this man, on the first morning of Sukkot, walked 2 hours and 15 minutes from his house to my house at 5 o'clock in the morning to bring me a lulav and etrog. 2 hours and 15 minutes at 5 o'clock in the morning to bring him a lulav and etrog. He said he came to my house, he was he didn't have his strength, he was gone. I told him, Rabbi, what is this? He said, I promised you lulav and etrog. It's not your fault my kid got injured. I bought you lulav and etrog. He said, but now you killed me. He said, if it can mean so much to somebody else to walk 2.25 hours there and then 2.25 hours back, that's 4.5 hours of walking. Forget about all the complications of halachot, of tchumim, and other things that he had to figure out in order to be able to walk. Then there must be something serious to this stuff. This is not a joke. He says, so now I got to go find out what's going on. He says, loyalty like that don't exist in our world. He says, so you ruined my life. I said, Hashem should help. I should continue ruining your life in this direction. I wish you a lot of good luck in life. I'm Syrian, so by us, the conversion subject is not spoken about, so obviously I'm not getting involved in that element in any way, shape, or form, but I already heard between the grapevines that he's looking into what it's going to take to see if he can have a Jewish wife and kids one day. Kids, they won't be Jewish, they won't be his kids even if they become Jewish. But that's the power of a mitzvah, that's the power of a mesiut nefesh, of a Jew to help another Jew do a mitzvah, and that's the power of Sukkot. That's the power of the holiday of Sukkot. It's an unbelievable thing. It's a wild thing. It's an unbelievable thing. I asked him if he would come tonight to speak. So he said, what am I supposed to speak about? I don't know anything. I said, speak about the rabbi who came to your house. He said, you're probably up to your next prank. I don't trust you. I'm not coming. I wanted to title him a rabbi, and that's it. Then the heat will go on, the pressure will go up. But it's a kedusha of Klal Yisrael. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu says. What does it say about lulav and etrog? V'yasu kulam aguda achat. We all get together. La'asot etzom chavei shalem. This is a live example. V'yasu kulam aguda achat. One Yid doesn't know the other Jew. He's a total stranger to him. Everything. By the way, if you want to hear another greatness of this man, Motzei Sukkot, he calls this rabbi because he knew to respect the holiday. He told him when the holiday was over, whatever. That's how he knew. So he called him after the holiday was over, and he told him, Rabbi, you did such a great thing, whatever, I want to give a large contribution to your synagogue. He said, I never gave charity before, but lately I got into it because of my partner. I want to give charity to your synagogue. And the rabbi told him, no thanks, but no thanks. So he said, what do you mean? Nobody says no to money, Rabbi. He said, let's try again. Thanks, but no thanks. He said, can you at least explain to me why not? There's something wrong with my money. He said, nothing's wrong with your money, and we need the money. Desperately. He said, but if I take a check from you tonight, in 3 months from now, you might be able to think that could be the reason why you walked to my house was so that I should like him and give him money. And I will never give you the opportunity to think that I did something for money. And he turned down a very large check. I guarantee you none of us would have passed that test. Unbelievable. Young guy. And I only know him just for favors. Like, I don't even know him personally, this rabbi. Just from favors I know. It's a yid that has a real shlichut in life to spread Hashem's word, to spread Hashem's unbelievable things, to keep Hashem for the Olam Yisrael. But, so on Hoshana Raba, lachat kama v'kama nitzchu Yisrael. Definitely we win. But alright, Yom Kippur, Yitzu Moshe Yom HaChapeh, so we have to wait until Hoshana Raba, what's going on? So there's a lot to understand here, a lot of deep concepts. Number one, Chazal say, Yirshut Hashem b'yimatzu ki hu b'yoto karov. We spoke about this, the Gemara lines out. These are the 10 days of Aseret Yimei Teshuvah. But the Lashon of Chazal is the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. If my fingers work and I know how to count, Rosh Hashanah is 2 days, Kippur is the 10th day, that only leaves 7 days between Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. And Chazal say there's 10 days between. So what does it mean? Comes the Shlag Kadosh and throws a curveball. There's a mind-boggling chidush. He says that it seems to him that Chazal is saying there's two things. Hashem is karov for 2 periods of time. During the time from Rosh Hashanah until Kippur, and then for 10 more days, which is 10 days, from Motzei Kippur to Hoshana Raba. That's the Shlag Kadosh writes. So that whole thing, the whole idea that we spoke about during Aseret Yimei Teshuvah, the Yirshut Hashem b'yimatzu, it's applicable now, according to the Shlag Kadosh. And others wrote it as well. The Shlag is not a dat yachid on that. Others were mechaven to the same shot. It's unbelievable. So we're talking about big stuff over here. But it says more. In the Ma'am Loez in Parashat Emo, he brings down that of course nothing works without tshuva. We have to do tshuva. So the Ma'am Loez says we put the Sefer Torah out so it should be a reminder to us that there's a book in heaven that our life forever is written in, what's going to be. And that book right now is open, and we're the scribes. We write in that book what it should say, what the future is going to dictate. So just be aware, utilize your pen wisely, write the right things on the right time. I watered down the Ma'am Loez, he says it much deeper. Here it is. This morning, when we pray, there's going to be a book in Shamayim, it's going to be open, and God gives us the pen. He says, write what your future should be. Now you got to choose what you want to write there. So one idiot's going to write that he wants to have fun, and he wants to this, he wants to go to the Bahamas. There's a reason why the Bahamas is called Bahamas. In the Shoresh, in Lashon HaKodesh, is Behemot, animals. He wants to be a Behemah this year. Yeah, I mean that literally, by the way. And he wants to get closer to Hashem this year. He wants to have a good life. He wants to build a Jewish home. He wants to have kids that are Talmidei Chachamim. And each one, whatever he wrote, is going to happen. One guy's going to be dancing on the beaches, and the other guy's going to be in Gan Eden. They're both going to get their will, because on Hoshana Raba, Hashem gives everybody whatever he wants. He says, you just write it. Write what you want. Pick what you want, write it. Just got to make wise choices. In order to make wise choices, you got to have a clean head. In the medical world, we know, those of you who are therapists or psychologists know this very well, addicts lose their ability to choose at a certain point. All their choices are terrible. Shalom Eidalo Aleinu, and Hashem should help that all the addicts in Klal Yisrael should have watched them Avimera. Because it's really not their fault, it's a tragic thing. It's a tragic thing. And we have to love them and care for them and pray for them every hour of the day. Hashem should help they should all get better quickly. But their judgment is impaired. They don't, because the addiction is what's deciding what to do, not the seichel anymore. The seichel is lost. It's the addiction that's telling them what to do. If a person is addicted to doing sins, that's exactly what happens to him. Hashem gives him a pen to write what his year is going to be. He can write the greatest things. But he's such an addict that he's going to write, I want more followers on my Instagram. I use that example not because of my general daily social media campaign, anti-social media campaign obviously, because I was curious a little bit. So I asked a few people that I speak to on a regular basis what they daven for Yom Kippur. I'm embarrassed to say this, but one person from Israel told me that he prayed that he should have another 25 million YouTube views this year. I said, thank God you have me in your life. He said, well, I agree to that, but why do you think so? I said, because I prayed for you on Kippur that Hashem should heal your brain. So at least hopefully it'll balance out. Your stupidity with my prayer, maybe somewhere in Shamayim it'll balance out. This was what was important to him by Nila, that his YouTube views should go up. He's a celebrity, so the views has to look good, how many views he has. I told him, besides, I think in India for a couple of bucks you could have as many million views as you want. They arrange it for you somehow. The same people that call you telling you that there's Social Security, they know how to do YouTube also. They're talented, they do all different scams. But that's an example of somebody. Hashem gave him a pen and he wasted it on something worthless. Because Baruch Hu gives us tonight a pen and now we have to use it for something that's worth something. And there's a lot at stake. It's not, there's really a lot at stake over here. It's not just, there's very, very deep things over here. So let's start from the basis. Why is it called Hoshana Raba at all? What does it mean? And where do we relate to it? Where does it come to us in life? So the Ben Ish Chai in Shana Aleph in Zot HaBracha right at the beginning writes a very simple thing, a beautiful darash. He says, Elul has 30 days to it. Hoshana Raba is Chaf Aleph Tishrei, is the 21st day of Tishrei, meaning it's 51 days combined. What do we pray? Anna Hashem Hoshia Na is 51. Hashem should help that we should have a Yeshua through the 51 days of the Avodah. That's why it's called Hoshana Raba. This is the 51st day, this is what seals the deal. What closes the package up of the 51 days. And Chazal teach us, and the Ben Ish Chai quotes this, Hakol Olech, everything goes, Achar Achitum, based on how you end. We know this from day-to-day life, by the way. I have an acquaintance who's in the catering business. So he told me how his business model works. The catering business is not the safest business to be in, because the Yitzhar is very big. It makes people crazy. It's somebody who's in the catering business and does it right, is a tzaddik, I bow down to them. Because the whole business is somebody pays for 500 people and you really make for 300. That's how you make money over there. There's no money otherwise. That's the business. It's all cheating, rounding corners. That's the name of the game. If you ever pay attention, almost no caterer is willing to put in the contract a detailed menu down to the nitty gritty. Because if you would look at the event and match it with the contract, it'll never match. And then it's breach and you don't have to pay him. So they write more or less, this level menu, this, so they can do whatever they want. I know a lot of Jews that left the catering business because of that. They said they couldn't, the Yitzhar was too big. It's not only catering. I have a very close friend who owned the most mechanic shops in the tri-state area. The most. And the largest tow truck fleet in the whole tri-state area. He was making insane money. Like numbers that in your imagination you wouldn't think of. And one night, out of the blue, he notifies me, he shut down his business, not sold it. Shut down his business. We put all his trucks up for auction, all his properties for sale, overnight. I told him, are you crazy? What's wrong with you? To me it sounded crazy. Meshuggah, Hashem gave you parnosa, wealth like that. He said, let me tell you the way my business works. Our trucks are on the street all day, and they look for people stuck on the side of the road, but they don't look for anybody. If they see a young guy who looks savvy, they leave him alone. Let him find somebody else. If they see an old lady that looks desperate, they pull over. They tow her truck to the shop. They tell her she needs a new transmission. They power wash it and give her back the truck. We invest $10, charge her $3,500. So that's the business. So when I realized that there's no way that I can control myself to stop stealing, I said there's only one solution, to run away, that's it. I gave it all up, goodbye, I want nothing to do with it. I said, so why didn't you sell it? They said, so I should make the next generation of thieves? It's bad enough what I did in my life. Unbelievable, Anish Yemet. So, got rid of everything. Moved to Israel now, he's going to learn in Koil. He says, there's no way to control yourself. The food business is like that too. I have friends in the catering business, and I once asked them, is this true? They said, honestly, it's true. So I said, what do you do? So he said, it happens to be that in my line of work, it's not like that because we don't charge per person, we charge per event. I don't know, he has some other type of thing, so he has a way to work around it halachically. I said, but I'm asking you, what do you do halachically? That's your issue with God, that's none of my business. I want to know what you do financially. your reputation's at stake. We're in the social media world, right? Somebody doesn't like your job, the next day you're doomed. They post on you all these reviews and you're gone. He said, no, that's the oldest trick in the book. I said, what's that? He said, the Viennese table is always perfect. I said, and? He said, nobody remembers what happened the whole night. Everybody remembers how they left. They leave happy, you give them a good ending, a nice show at the end, they walk away and say, wow, what a night, I never was by such an event ever. He said, not only that, he says, I don't even charge for this. I have stands by the door near the valet of doggy bags that I send with the guests to take home, takeaway food. It's like this, they go home with a memory of me in their hand. So now I'm a superhero. So forget about what I got away with the whole night, what I did or didn't do. Everybody forgot. This is what he told me. I thought about it, I paid attention, it's true really, by the way. There's a lot of truth to this. In Sifrei Torah, in Stam, we know that when we go to a new sofer, we want to see what his work is. So I tell him, give me a Megillah Esther to see that you wrote. He gives me a Megillah, and I don't open it from the beginning. I roll it to the end, and I open it to the last page or two. Why? Because certain things, like a mezuzah, you have to write in order. You can't write one pasuk before, no, it has to be exactly the order. Megillah, you could write the 10th, the 9th perek, and then the first perek. It doesn't have to be in order when you write it. It has to end up being in order in the Megillah, but you could write it. What do the Sofrim do? The more you write, the better, more polished you are. You have more experience. So they start writing Megillot from the end. They write a bunch of 10th, 9th prakim, assuming nobody's going to look there anyway, till it's too late. And then, once they're really good, they write the beginning. So I learned that trick, so now I beat it. I look at the end first and see what's his real story, and then the show business, I don't need you to tell me. L'avdil elef alfei avdalot, Chazal tell us, this is exactly Hoshana Raba. Hakol olech achar hachitum. Everything goes based on the end. You have a grand finale, a nice Hoshana Raba, God says 51 days in. It's all good. No matter how the 51 days looked. And that's why it's Yeshua. If you did Slichot and Tachnunim and Hoshana and Kippur and everything the holiest way, so why do you need a Yeshua? You're getting what you deserve. Ana Hashem Hoshiana. It's a big Yeshua. That even if it wasn't so perfect, and Hoshana Raba, Hashem says, Kol olech achar chitum. You did Hoshana Raba the right way, you got it. We're going to make believe everything was perfect. It's an amazing thing. So this is a real opportunity to botch this one up. You got to be stupid. That's what I said. Go to Bellevue. I don't know. Somebody doesn't want to do Hoshana Raba right, I give up. That's why I lose hope. It's one night. Invest one night, one day, 24 hours. You got it. You got it made. God gives you credit, just like that. And you got your own fate in your own hands. You could decide for yourself what your life's going to be. Exactly the way you want it. It's an opportunity that can't be lost. It's not a serious thing. There are other Sfarim that aren't so generous. They say it a little tighter. They say that it's the same idea, 51, but that on Hoshana Raba we pray that Hashem should accept everything we did in the past 50 days before this, meaning all 51 days in total. That's already a little tighter. But of course I'm going to promote the most lenient way, because if the Ben Ish Chai wrote it l'alacha, so in Shamayim we can come to the Ben Ish Chai and said, we tried our best on Hoshana Raba, you said that's good enough, now take care of it. Right? The same way they're posek in this world, in Shamayim they're posek the same thing. But then it's an unbelievable thing. And we're going to talk about this still in another angle soon. It's brought down in the Sefer Ta'amei HaMinagim that he says, Hanagot HaMinagim Katav, or really there's a midrash like this. In Hanagot HaMinagim he wrote, why is it called Hoshana Raba? Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu LaAvraham. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Avraham Avinu, Ani Achid, I'm one in the world, V'ata Yachid. Avraham Avinu was alone against the whole world, right? Everybody was fighting him. Eten levanecha, I'm going to give your children Yom HaMiyuchad, a special day b'shana, one special day on the year, l'chaper ba'avonotehem, that on that day I'm going to forgive them for all their sins. V'zeu Hoshana Raba. We always thought Yom Kippur, right? Yamim yitzaru v'lo echad b'hem. Hashem says one day left for him, as Yom Kippur there's a... In Ta'amei HaMinagim he says no, Hoshana Raba is even greater. Because even if you hold in the Gemara, the Yom Kippur only works l'shavim b'tshuva, Hoshana Raba could be works even without that. Just the etzem fact that somebody comes to do the Akafo, comes to the shul, already Hashem says, I'm going to give him that day, that I'm going to forgive them for all their sins. That's a big, big, big thing. Comes the Kaf HaChaim in Tafei Shamach Daled, and he adds on to this concept. And he says, which day of the month we said is Hoshana Raba? Chaf Aleph Tishrei, the 21st day of Tishrei. When Moshe Rabbeinu asked God, Ma Shemecha, what's your name? It's an interesting thing. You just talk to God like that, what's your name? We're embarrassed to ask a stranger even what's your name, a person on the street. Moshe Rabbeinu asked God himself, what's your name? Hashem told him, what are you asking me my name for? What does it make a difference? Then Hashem told him his name. He said his name is Eheyeh Asher Eheyeh. Meaning Eheyeh, that's his name. And one of the two, Ufim Shemot, one of God's names is that word, Eheyeh. Eheyeh is spelled Aleph 1, Hey 5, that's 6, Yud 10 more, 16, Hey 21. One of the names of God is numeric value, which is the name that God tells Moshe Rabbeinu is the name that he uses, is the name of 21, is Eheyeh. Unbelievable thing. Avraham Avinu, right, Chazal say, there were 10 generations from Adam HaRishon till Noach. From Noach until Avraham, there were 10 more generations. Avraham was the 21st generation in the world. Comes God and tells him, it says to Kaf HaChaim, Ani Achid B'olami, my name is Eheyeh, 21, and you're the 21st generation. So we have a common denominator. I'm going to give them the 21st day of Tishrei, so it'll be 21, 21, 21, and that'll make forgiveness for the whole Jewish nation. I mean, it's not coincidental. There's a lot of depth behind every detail over here. The Kaf HaChaim quotes further. There's wild, these words. If it didn't, that's why I'm quoting from inside, because I would say it on my own. People say, oh, Yaakov Yagen comes with his crazy ideas. I have to quote everything inside. There's no choice. And it's better that way. Amar lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu Avraham. Listen to these words. Hashem tells Avraham Avinu, Im ein kapara levanecha b'Rosh Hashanah, if I couldn't forgive your kids on Rosh Hashanah, yeh b'Yom HaKippurim. I'll forgive them on Kippur. V'im lav, what if Kippur didn't work either? They messed up Kippur also. Didn't work. Yeh b'Hoshana Raba. I'm going to forgive them on Hoshana Raba. V'zeu, and that is, ichadti al shmi. I made my name one on Hoshana Raba, that I forgave my children that are one, that are your children, the 21st generation, where Avraham Avinu started Am Yisrael. And the Midrash doesn't say on Hoshana Raba v'im lav, and if not then. The Midrash ends over there. What does that mean? That on Hoshana Raba, everybody gets forgiven. That's where you could seal the deal. So this is big stuff. This is huge stuff. We're talking about the biggest of the big leagues right now. So obviously we gotta take it in. We gotta absorb it in the biggest way. Gotta absorb it in the biggest way. Ben Ishchai, by the way, over there in Zot HaBracha, in the next letter says that even if a person on Hoshana Raba wasn't the best, on Shmini Atzeret he could also still grab on a little more. There's reasons for that. If we have time, maybe we'll get to that, why it's like that. But of course, you don't want to push your limits, right? You want to try to work it out as soon as you can. Now listen to this. If Hoshana Raba is so great, so that's a night that we're allowed to reveal secrets. Meaning we're allowed to learn Torah Tasod, the little Kabbalah. Today it's trendy to learn Kabbalah. But during the year it's for people that, I'm not talking about the tzaddikim, in general, then you get a life. Learn Gemara first, then talk about Kabbalah. But on holy days, Hashem gives a special koach that we can talk about things that normally we can't talk about. Adam HaRishon is created, and it doesn't take long until he does his first sin. 9 hours, that was the whole story. And 9 hours not from his creation, 9 hours from the beginning of his creation. I mean, it's much less than that, it was an hour. From the time he was a finished product to the time he sinned was 1 hour. That was the whole thing. And within 3 hours after that, he was already thrown out of paradise and cursed. No. And it seems like he was hiding from God, right? Because he was embarrassed when he realized what he did and he was thrown out of Gadeus. He was hiding from God, whatever that means. So the pasuk says, "Vayikra Hashem Elokim et Adam." Hashem called Adam, what did he tell him? Vayomer lo, and he told him one word: Ayeka. Where are you? That's what he said. Ayeka. It says in the Sifrei Kabbalah, in Asara Ma'amarot, by the way, there's a long ma'amar on this, that after 120, Hashem's going to turn to every person and ask him one word: Ayeka. Where were you? Where were you the whole time? What was more important than me? Let's hear. That's it. No hell, no fires, no nothing. Let's get to the point. I put you in the world, you were there for 120 years, what do you have to say for yourself? Where were you? Ayeka. One word, that's all it takes. Comes the Asara Ma'amarot and says an unbelievable thing. It says, the word Ayeka is spelled Aleph, Yud, Chaf, Hey. Aleph is the first day of Tishrei, Rosh Hashanah. Yud is the 10th day of Tishrei, Yom Kippur. Unbelievable. There's deeper things than that, by the way, also in the actual Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. Chaf is what comes right after. What comes right after? So he makes a calculation like this. He says, Aleph Tishrei, right? That's simple, Rosh Hashanah. Yud is the 10th day of the month, Yom Kippur. From the beginning of Rosh Hashanah until Nila, meaning that time period, you have 243 hours. 240 or 24 hours a day times 10, plus the time before and after that you have to add on. 243 hours. So and Biyom Chaf, on the 20th day, right after starts the Hey, the Hoshana Raba, the 21st day. Which that seals the deal of the creation of Briyat HaOlam, of Adam HaRishon's sin, that Hashem had to tell him Ayeka. What does that mean? So what he really means to say is like this. We spoke about this before Kippur, that a person through tshuva not only corrects his life now, but he corrects his soul for every time it was ever placed in this world in history. Meaning in all his reading, and we're all, Chaim Vital already wrote that there's no new neshamas in the world, so we're all here around 2 at least. I don't know, they say a cat has 9 lives, I think some of us have more than that. You see so many times already that I rewrote that this one was a Gilgul of this and this. He has calculations 10, 15 times. Imagine what 450 years later, how many more times. One Hiru Tshuva, a person can go and retroactively fix all of that. And Hoshana Raba, a person can get to the point, I don't know exactly how to explain this in words, but whatever that means, that he could even get to Adam HaRishon's Ayeka, to before Adam HaRishon's Ayeka. Just like we spoke right before Nihila, that Sfarim HaKadoshim write that by Nihila, a person can bring himself to the level of Adam HaRishon Kodem Achet. Adam HaRishon before he sinned. That's the only time of the year that the Cherev, the Lat HaMitapechet, the sword that goes around the tree of life that's non-stop, it rests one time, by Yom Kippur, by Nihila. But based on what we're saying that Hoshana Raba is so much greater, so Kal Vachomer on Hoshana Raba, a person can grab onto the Eitz HaChaim. That's it, you got it made. It's all open. Everything's open for you. Now you just got to cash in. But technically it's all open. So what do we do? What's the practical implications? What's the practical implications? By the way, he brought down the Moed L'Kol Chai. He brings down the name of the Rav Gadol Achida, he writes over there, and also in the Sefer Lev David, that brings down from another rabbi that was a big Kabbalist. He talks about staying up all night, which a lot of Jews don't do, but that was our minhag all the generations. And he says that if somebody stays up at night, then on Hoshana Raba, he not stays up and wastes his life. Then it's better to sleep. Hashem batel ki yashen dami, the Gemara says. Somebody who sits and wastes time is just like he's sleeping. So you may as well sleep, you're better off. At least you'll be rested. It's true. You'll be rested. Also, when you sleep, you can't talk Lashon Hara. When you're awake, you could. So you're better off sleeping. But for somebody who does something productive, he says an unbelievable thing. Then Hashem says that he did a tikkun karet. Karet means a young deaf bar minan. And that's it, he's protected, he's good to go. He has a life insurance policy until the next Hoshana Raba. It's an unbelievable thing. And that's why, if you guys remember from last year, we have a custom that Bli Neder we always stick to, that after the whole prayer Shacharit, we say Nishmat Kol Chai. We do a Ptichat HaEchal, it's one of the most powerful Ptichot HaEchal of the year, maybe the most powerful Ptichat HaEchal of the year. Why? Because afterwards there's a prayer that we say, we promise Hashem that if He gives us another year of life and health, the next year we'll come back and do the same thing again. And if you want to know why we're here today and other people are not, that's why. Because when you say thank you to Hashem, He says, I want to hear it again. Very simple. So we open the Eichal, we tell Hashem, next year we'll come back again. Why don't we do that every day? Because on a regular day it doesn't work. God's going to say, I heard those stories from you. And you're not convincing. Hoshana Raba, you're forgiven, so you're pure. So He buys anything you have to say. Wow. On a regular day, I'm not interested. You told me a lot of things in your life. Another story. I don't care what you have to say. But on Hoshana Raba, you're forgiven. So you're a pure soul. You're like an angel. We quote it from the Midrash, like a malach. If you're like a malach, you're pure. So then at that point, we take into very serious consideration what you have to say. You're saying you want to come back next year? Fine, I have to leave you here to be back next year. It's an unbelievable thing. It's an unbelievable thing. It's in Sod, there's a deeper thing also. And this will talk your language more. Everybody likes money, right? We all want money. Preferably in crispy bills that smell fresh and large boxes. That's kind of our prayer. Zocheinu l'chaim, cash. Melech hafetz b'chaim, cash. Chotmeinu b'sefer chaim, cash. L'mancha Elokim chaim, even more cash. That's the whole Elul was like that. Chatanu l'fanecha is also dollar bills. Everything's dollar bills. And I'm not even saying that in a cynical way, by the way. At least that much we believe, that Hashem decides how much parnasa we'll have. It's also a step in Emunah. It's also a nice thing. If Hakol olech achar achitum, comes Rav Nachman and says, if everything goes based on the end, so where does parnasa come through? Hoshana Raba. Comes Rav Nachman and writes, by the Ptichat HaEchal of Hoshana Raba in the morning, Hashem sends through that Ptichat the parnasa for the whole year. It's kind of silly to fall asleep, no? Hashem wrote you a check, you fell asleep, you didn't pick it up. On this I have a Kedushas Levi that I love quoting. He doesn't write about Hoshana Raba, he writes about Chanukah, about Zot Chanukah. But I say this about every holiday and every important day of the year. I think we should say this about every day of the year, but definitely on these type of days. Mashal lemelech shepatach otzro liyom echad. A parable to a king who opened his vaults for one day and said, whoever wants, come take whatever he wants. Oy lo leksil sheyashen beoto hayom. Woe to the fool that goes to sleep that day. So Rav Nachman taught us through Torah Tasod, we can explain it if you want, but it's deep and complicated, that by the Pticha Hoshana Raba, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends down parnasa to the world, the pipe's open. Oy lo leksil sheyashen beoto hayom. How stupid is a fool who falls asleep by Shachris? Hashem's sending it, He's giving it to you. Just pick it up, that's it. You don't even have to do anything. You don't have to ask for it. He's serving it to you. Now just take it. Imagine, guy gets married, Pshat Tova. No, a few weeks after he's married, he stays home for dinner one night by accident, and his new wife is going to impress him, right? She has to be able to show that she could cook. So she calls her mother and her grandmother, a few generations up, to help her. Each one gives her advice. She ends up becoming confused completely, and she starts trying to cook. Then a little YouTube in the background, maybe some Hell's Kitchen, some this and that, figure out some skills. She's going to cook. No, pshat tova mutzlachat. She makes a gourmet dinner. Even Gordon Ramsay got scared. Superstar. Unbelievable, mamish, no? Gan Eden, no? Gourmet, everything as perfect as could be, the biggest and the best. Husband comes home, he walks into the door like a good guy. No good evening, no how are you, no nothing. He shows him true self day one. Honey, I'm starving. That was the best words she could have heard. She just worked all day. She just cooked a storm. Says, you don't know what you got. As much as you could eat, as much as you could dream of, you got more. It's like, great, bring it on. Sits down by the table. She brings him a first course, a couple of salads on the side, a couple of things. 2 minutes later, honey, I'm hungry. She's in the kitchen already preparing the next plate. Everything has to be plated exactly perfect, symmetrical, whatever. She comes to the dining room. So quickly finished everything. She sees everything's untouched. She says, you don't like it? He said, don't like what? He said, I just served you food. He said, but I'm hungry. He said, okay, so eat. And he answers again, but I'm hungry. So eat. Finally she says, something wrong? Your hands don't work? You need to be spoon-fed? You're a baby? For that, I won't make gourmet food. I'll give you in a bottle. That sounds crazy, no? You're being served the best food in the world. Take your fork, take your knife, eat. Stop complaining. Guess what? We're all those crazy people. Hashem serves us on HOSHANA Raba in the morning the answers to all our situations in life. He says, take it all. It's a gift. All yours. Just pick it up. Just eat. Tired, I'm on the mood, I have a headache, I'm this, it was a long night, this year HOSHANA Raba is in the middle of October, net is so late, oh my God, I'm dying, this, that. Hashem says, what? I didn't even ask you to pray for it. I gave it to you, I spoon-fed it to you, I put it all in front of you, just take it. Even that you're not willing to do. That's what we say, Ana Hashem Oshiana, you have to help. Help is to help to have the seichel to at least take. At least that much. The Zohar says in Musar, on Shana Kippur, tzvachim kekalba, we scream like animals, havlan chaye, havlan mizona, give us life, give us food. That's only said on Shana Kippur, and on HOSHANA Raba it's not said. Why? Because on HOSHANA Raba Hashem loves that. Yeah, I'm giving you life, I'm giving you whatever you want. Just take it. Just take it. By the way, that comes in the schus of the simcha, the mitzvah sukkot. When a Jew is happy, it's a happy people want to be around. Sometimes we say about a guy or a girl that they're the center of the fun, or the life of the party, or people want to be around happy people. Kavyachol, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us the same thing. Yeah, come Elul, Shani, and Kippur, all depressed. I don't know. Something's wrong with you. You didn't get it right. You're coming sukkahs happy? You got it. I give you whatever you want. You got a smile? No problem. You got to take it. That's a big, big thing. It's not. It sounds easier than it is, but at least that much you have to make an effort. It shouldn't be shouldn't be a fool that sleeps during that day. Yeah. And now, being that we're Jews and Jews like gulot, so we can't go without teaching you a few gulot, right? That much we can't go. So I'm going to tell you a couple of gulot, and then I have a work in progress. I don't have the details yet, so I'm going to give you a promo. God willing, by Thursday night for the shiur, I'll already have the rest of my first piece, because it's cute. I was in Muncie for Shabbat with my father. Learned with him, I prayed with him. Beautiful Shabbat we had together. The family. But I'm used to having a minyan across the street from my house, and another one on the right side of my house. My father walks like 12 minutes each way. Schar psiot. He likes walking to shul. I told him, Dad, it's freezing. Muncie's 10 degrees colder than here. I said, do me a favor, at least Avit, Motzei Shabbat, let's pray in the house. With the 7 of us, we'll call a neighbor, 3 people, we'll make a minyan, no Sefer Torah. He said, you got it, we'll make a minyan in the house. Which neighbor we're going to call? I told him, the doctor down the block, whatever, we'll call him. So we called him, you want to come join our visa? Sure. It's cold. It's much easier to go to your neighbor than to walk far. I'm not saying right or wrong. Of course, it's big schar, somebody who walks to shul. I'm not downplaying that, God forbid. I just want to tell you the story, the way it happened. We made a minyan. When we finished Avit, my father told this neighbor, who's a friend of ours, and I want to give you a hagdama. This neighbor is the Talmid Chacham Yeshamayim, and he's a Lithuanian Jew. And the reason why I stress that is because if he was a Hasidic Jew or this, so you'd say they believe in Sgulas, they believe in this. The Litvish Jews, they believe in Gemara, and that's it. That's where it starts and ends. You can't tell them no stories. They're not into that stuff. My father goes over to him and tells him, my friend, I want to give you a Sgula. I knew this wouldn't go over well. They're not into that. That's not their thing. So he tells him, but he's a respectful man. So out of respect, my father's older than him. He says, yeah, well, what's Sgula? So he says, on HOSHANA Raba, we do this, by the way, the minyan. It's an argument when, but we do it before Shacharit. You read Aleinu L'Shabech, the first part of it, whatever. If you'll be here, you'll join. It should be done. The Sgula has to do it a minyan anyway. 7 times, backwards, forwards, whatever. There's a way to do it. And many Sifrei Kabbalah bring this down. That they're guaranteed that they'll be protected the whole year, nobody will be able to harm you, and a long list of promises. It's a good investment. It says over there that the power of the minyan is not only to protect yourself, to protect the entire community. It's an unbelievable thing. Sometimes we do things we don't realize what an influence it has in Shamayim. We're protecting so many people around us, not just ourselves. It's a big chesed also. So he tells him, maybe you should think about it. Between you and your kids, hey, almost a minute. It's kiddah. It takes 2 minutes. So even if it's not your style, but to lose, you don't have what to lose. It's holy words, that's for sure. And to gain, maybe you'll gain a great thing. So yeah. He says, you know what? You're right. Why not? He tells my father, Chacham, if you gave me a Sgula, I got to give you something back. He says, I'm going to give you something that I've been keeping inside with me for 20 years. My father looks at him and he's like, yeah, what? Like, he knows it. My father knows like all these type of stuff, and it's hard to sell him something new. So he says, I'm going to tell you about a grave of somebody who's buried in Long Island. He said a name. I don't remember all the details, and he didn't remember exactly the details, so I said you're going to have to wait for Thursday to get the exact details, because he said he's going to send it to me in a text after Cholamoid. He doesn't write, so he can't send me a message now. But after Yom Tov, he said he'll send me exactly the details of everything. He says he has a friend who's a rabbi in Brooklyn. His uncle was a Holocaust survivor who lost his wife and kids in the Holocaust. Came to America alone, never got remarried, was a loner his whole life. But his emunah was strong always. Always daven, tehillah, he was a tzaddik. Some succeeded to rebuild their lives, to get remarried. He didn't succeed. And 20 years ago he passed away. And he was buried in Long Island. He told me he's 20 minutes away from the shul in Queens, in some cemetery. A few weeks after he was buried, he comes to a congregant of his nephew's shul, who's a rabbi in Brooklyn, in a dream. Not once, 4 nights in a row, same dream. He says, I don't understand. There's so many young people that don't have kids, and they want to have families and kids. Why don't you tell them to come to me? I'll fix the problem for them. This guy thought maybe he's hallucinating, maybe this. He didn't know. But the 4th time, he got scared already. This is 4 nights in a row to dream the same thing about a guy who just died. It's freaky a little bit. So he went to this rabbi in Brooklyn to consult with him. He told him in a quiet, shy way, maybe something's wrong with me, I don't know, but it was your uncle, so I want to tell you the facts the way it is. So the rabbi said, I don't know if it's real or not, but I have a way to find out. I said, how are you going to find out? Are you going to bring him down? What are you going to do? He said, no. I'll tell you an interesting thing. I have a child who didn't have kids for a bunch of years now. I'm going to send him to go pray by the grave. We'll see if it works. We'll experiment. We'll see life. He sent his son to go down by this cave. That month, his wife got pregnant. Not a year later, that month. Wild. He said, this is the real deal. The rabbi, for reasons that I don't understand, I plan on contacting him to ask him why, decided that he's not making it famous. He's not saying over the story. I really don't get it. This Jew was by my father, told my father that he didn't broadcast it, but for his friends and people he knew that didn't have kids or didn't want, whatever it is, he would tell them. And he said just this past year alone, Tafshinayin Tet, he told 10 people that don't have kids for a lot of years, 5 already had kids, and the other 5 are pregnant. That's a pretty good success rate. In my world, that's called 100%. It's pretty insane, no? This is just this year. He says in the past 20 years he could write books from stories. Crazy. We never heard this before. Then he tells my father, but it works too well. So my father tells me, what do you mean it works too well? If it works, it's amazing. Give me the details. You know how many people need this? And I right away stuck in my own commentary because I always have to say my 2 cents. I said, Dad, wait a second. The Torah says that in order to have kids, you have to be married. That means technically, if you need a shidduch, go there and you get, it's a package deal. You go to daven to have kids, you have to be married. So by default, you get a good boy. You get married. My father smiles, for sure, there's no question, it's going to work. So my father says, what does it mean it works too well? He says that 10 months ago, his wife's 48 years old. 49 years old, sorry. She has a friend that's 48 years old. And her friend has a daughter that's 27 now. She got married when she was 19, and she never had kids yet. And he told his wife, maybe tell her daughter to go pray there. But it's always a tough subject because you never know, is that being nice or maybe that's spilling salt on an open wound? So it's very tricky. Like I would never tell somebody like that. I wouldn't say a word. If they ask me, I would say, but if they don't ask me, I would be scared. Maybe it's sensitive, maybe it's something personal, maybe they don't want to talk about it, maybe it's a very, very sore subject. You have to be very careful with these things. His wife for a long time said no. At the end she decided she's going to do it. She called this woman, she said, listen, I hope you forgive me if you don't take it the wrong way. If I know you have a daughter who's married for 8 years and doesn't have kids, my husband, she tells the whole story, and send your daughter to pray. So the friend tells the wife, this gentleman who told us the story's wife, thank you very much. No, it doesn't bother me. I appreciate it that you care about me and that. So, but I have a problem. It's going to have to wait a little bit. She said, why is it going to have to wait? She says, my daughter lives in Israel. She doesn't live here. So I have to wait for her to come back. She's going to come back for Pesach. So Pesach she'll go. So the friend said, why would you wait for Pesach? If you don't want to fly her back, I understand. You go pray for her. She went to pray for her daughter. That month, the 48-year-old got pregnant. So he says, sometimes it works too well. Sometimes it works too well. That, she got more than she bargained for. She got more than she bargained for. That's already dangerous. And these are people that we know. This is not stories and this and that. This is people, and there's very serious, educated people that, don't live in any sort of illusions. They're cold-blooded as could be. Authentic Lithuanian Jews. No games, no ifs, ands, and buts. It's an unbelievable thing. And he said he's telling us the story now, number one, because my father told him it's gula, so he wanted to tell him something back. But number two, because brought down in the Sfarim, that the Arava has the power to bring somebody children. It says how also, whatever. Something to do with the Hoshanot, that it can bring somebody children. So he says, Memela, it's the day of children, so I'm going to tell you about a cave here in Long Island. I'm going to tell you such a story. This is what he says. A bleed at Thursday, if Hashem gives me the health and the ability to be here, by then I hope to have all the details set up, so I'll tell you where and what, and maybe I'll have more details about this man's life. I'm very curious. I have to do some due diligence. But it sounds like a good idea, maybe. Maybe we have a new place to visit once in a while. I'm used to going to Kibbutz Tzadikim in Germany and this and that all over the world. We've got one right here. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, fine. But that wasn't my segulas that I wanted to talk about. That was Stam because it came up tonight. I want to talk about what it says in Moed Kol Chai. Chaim Falaj discusses this. And it's an unbelievable thing. It's an unbelievable thing. Chaim Valaji says that on Hoshana Raba we get a big tikkun. And he explains what the tikkun is and whatever, he goes into the more details. And he writes, therefore, as a result of that, he gives a person advice to make sure, to secure that he acquires this tikkun that you can get on Hoshana Raba. That's the give tzedakah to Talmid Chacham, to do a pidyon nefesh, but not stam tzedakah, to give 91 prutot shel kesef. Over the years, a fellow once asked Rav Moshe what that means in dollars. Rav Moshe told him $9.10 would be the minimum of 91 of a calculation of 91. Recently, Reb Chaim Kanievsky said that every country they should give the denomination of that country. So like in the US, $91. But if somebody can't afford that, the $9.10 is also a beautiful thing. And he makes a whole calculation, right? 91 is a very holy number. It's a combination of God's names. That's what brings the person his pidyon of his nefesh on Hoshana Raba in the morning. And then his soul is redeemed, is pure, it breaks loose from any barriers that it has. And at that point, it's very easy to get the hashpaot of the shefa from Shamayim. So I'm giving you the sources. There's brought down Moed Kol Chai and Not Chaf Gimel over there, and the Sefer Maaseh Tzedakah and Peish Kuf Chaftet, and many other Sfarim as well. And this is Reb Chaim Falaji. This is one of the Gdolei HaMkubalim of Jewish history, one of the greatest Kabbalists ever. This is Eitzah, and Dafka on Hoshana Raba, and Dafka in the morning, and preferable before Shachrit if you look good, what he says over there. Very interesting thing. So I know I do it. I've done it my whole life, or as many years as I remember. What? Donate $9.10 or $91, depending on your financial circumstances. To tzedakah, it's preferable to give it to somebody who's a knowledgeable person, a Talmid Chacham. They should mention you as a pidyon nefesh. It should be considered for you a pidyon nefesh. You remember probably when we used to go to Rab Shlomo, we used to always give him money. They should do a pidyon nefesh. So it was the same pidyon nefesh as this, but he was able to do it all year. Went out to hold that holy as my Rebbe Zecher Tzadik Levarcha, so we could only do it on Hoshana Raba. But it's a very interesting thing. People look for all these weird sgulot that have no source, and this and that. This says in the Sifrei Kabbalah and the holy, that it really takes the person's soul and changes it completely. So bevadei, it's a very big thing. Bevadei, bli neder, if we have time after the Tilim or before, whatever. So if anybody wants, it'll be available. That's one. Number two, the Hoshanot. I normally announce this after Shachris in the morning, but by then everybody's so tired and running out that I don't think it goes in the ears at all. So that's why I think this year we'll say it tonight, when we're still awake and everything's fine. The Hoshanot have big power in them. It's not stam, we take 5 things and hit them on the floor. It's not a superficial thing. There's very, very deep things here. I'm going to try and water it down just so it should be able to explain it a little bit at least. We said, the Midrash explains, Chazal say it clearly also in a few places, that the Arava resembles the lips. Hoshanot is 5. And the Ari writes it should be exactly 5. Don't add, don't not less, exactly 5. So we have 5 Aravot that resemble 5 lips, 5 sets of lip. And the Sifrei Kabbalah says that it comes to resemble what your head is. Your 2 eyes, your nose, your mouth, and your ears, the shape of your face, which is in the calculation of 5. Or the 5 senses also. That's another thing that it says is brought down in some of the Sfarim. So why would you go hit that on the ground? Comes Rabbeinu Ari and Sha'ar Kavanot and says something very interesting. Because being that Hoshana Raba morning is so holy, so the Yetzer Hara goes wild, like a soldier wounded in battlefield. What does a soldier do when he's wounded in battlefield? He takes his gun and he starts shooting everywhere because he knows he's dying anyway, and he's like, Tamot nafshim plishtim, let it just be. That's what happens. Lo aleinu, we should never know. I come from a family that the majority of them were warriors in Israel for many years, not just 3 years in the military. I have an uncle that was a general in the Air Force for 51 years, in the Israeli Air Force. And I love when they attack me in Shiurim. Why don't the religious serve in the army? I said, you jerk. My uncle served 51 years, not 3 years as a jobnik like you. Let's put things in perspective. It's crazy. But really? Yeah. I said, really? And I said, guess what? He had a big black kippah and a long beard. And with all of that, one had nothing to do with the other. He was able to do it in a kosher way, and it was a great job. First of all, it was a good parnosa. But besides for that, it was a great contribution to the Jewish nation. He fought all the Israeli wars. Very few people alive today could say that they were in all the Israeli wars. That fought in all the Israeli wars. There were a lot of them that lived through them, but not that fought in them. But anyway, so a soldier, when he's wounded, starts shooting all over. He doesn't care. He becomes a suicidal. Yetzer Hara knows that on Hoshana Raba morning he's going to get slaughtered. He's a dead duck. God's forgiving the Jews. And that's his doomsday. So he goes nuts. Comes Ari and Sha'ar Kavanot and says that on one hand it's a big day of chesed and rachamim, but on the other hand, mitgabrim gvurot adinim. this power of the judgment gets very strong because the Yetzer Hara starts shooting all the sins of the Jewish people, rattling whatever you could say bad about Jews. Meaning the Mekatregim, those who say bad about their Jews, their mouths run non-stop on Hoshana Raba. They don't stop talking. Comes the Ari HaKadosh and says, Hashem said, I'm going to give you this, Am Yisrael, the solution. Take the aravot that resemble the lips, and don't put them with the lulav, besides to the ones of the lulav. Take a separate 5, take them outside, hit them on the floor, and like this you'll break the lips of the Mekatregim. They won't be able to say anything bad about the Jews anymore. You shut them up. You close their mouths. You seal the deal. It's an unbelievable thing. That's the power of the Hoshanot. The Mele comes up Chaim Falaji and says, number 1, it's a mitzvah. So something that's a mitzvah, you're not allowed to throw out. So when you finish with the Hoshana, you can't throw it in the garbage. Chas v'shalom, it's sakana. You have to keep it. So the Ashkenaz have a custom, they put it on top of the Aron Kodesh. The Sephardic Jews don't have a custom, and I'll tell you why. Because the Sephardic Jews always went according to the Kabbalah. And according to the Kabbalah, it would be a waste to put it on top of the Aron Kodesh. Because Rav Chaim Falaji writes, if the aravot, when you did the chavatat aravot, shut up all the mekatregim, so as long as you hold on to them, it's active. It's like a service that keeps on working for you. It says, therefore, take the Hoshanot and keep them in your house. And he says, maybe even put them on top of your front door, and they'll protect you and your family in your house for the whole year. Or at least until Pesach, if you burn it with the chabens, depending what your custom is. That depends on communities already. And then he writes another thing. In those days, travel was dangerous. Today, travel is dangerous too, in a different way. But in those days, it was, they went in deserts and this, and horses, donkeys, God knows. They left, they didn't know if they're getting home. Right? The Gemara says that the Arbaat Tzachim La'odot, one of them is people that go on the ocean, whatever, the boats, that was one of their ways of travel. And Olchem Midbarot, when you go in the deserts, another way that they traveled. They used to have to say Agomel with a bracha. Because Chaim Falajian says, take a leaf from the Arava of your Hoshanot and put it with you when you travel. I say put it in your glove compartment of your car. And bivadai lo yinazek, and for sure you won't be harmed. Because the Arava is going to protect you. That's a pretty good deal, no? Instead of paying high insurance premiums. Why be in a bunch of accidents and have your insurance go up and up? Put the Arava in the glove compartment and have your insurance go down and down. There's no mitzvah to give panos at the insurance companies. There's no such mitzvah that I know of. It's a zgula for shmira. And the same thing with the lulav and not the etrog, minus the etrog. The lulav, aravad, and adasim. Chaim Falaji writes that if a person keeps it in his house, and the Ari already wrote this, by the way, in the Kavanot, and he's b'shat tzara, he's at a time of need, something's going wrong in his life, and he remembers where the lulav and etrog is, where it's placed, he's going to be saved right away. I can tell you from my own personal life, I had many incidents that was in different awkward situations, because I know how to get myself into trouble very quickly. Now I just travel and do all different risky things, and it works like a science. Not we save both. We save the Hoshanot and we save the lulav, adasim, and aravot. The etrog we make jam for Tu B'Shvat. That's a zgula for ladies to eat it. But it works. My craziest story is this wasn't done deliberately. I like doing things right, but sometimes I'm a little spaced out, and I don't always realize what you're supposed to be doing. So once I decided I was going to Belarus to pray by some cave of a tzaddik, but I forgot, or I didn't know, I should say, I didn't forget, I didn't know it was my first time going, that you need a visa to get into Belarus. What do you need a visa for? They just want to milk you for a couple $100. There's no visa, it's a joke, the whole thing. Fine. I come to the border with a car. Had a Russian driver who was driving me, nice guy. And he tells me, give me a passport. And then he looks at my passport, we were like 3 miles before the border, and there's no visa in there. He says, there's no visa, were you crazy? What are you doing? I said, I didn't know you need a visa. He says, yeah, you need a visa, Americans need a visa. I said, so what do you want me to do now? He says, now there's nothing to do, it's too late. We got to sleep over here by some hotel. Tomorrow morning you go to this and this office, you pay whatever amount of money, they get you an instant visa, and then we could go tomorrow. I said, buddy, tomorrow I got other things to do. We're going right now. So he tells me, we're not going. It's dangerous. I said, what's dangerous? What could happen? They'll turn us around. What's the big deal? We're going. So he didn't want to listen to me. I said, get out of the driver's seat, you nutcase. Let me drive. He says, I don't care. I got my papers. It's you. You're going to have issues. I said, just get out of the driver's seat. I said, now shut up. Don't say a word. I pulled up to the border. I thought in my mind where my lulav was at home. I gave the guy the passports. He didn't even take them. He just said, go. Came to leave the country an hour and a half, 3 hours later, 4 hours later, whatever it was after we prayed. Same thing. Put the passport to the window. Go. I won't do a not bad job. It's cheap. I saved $425. That's what I found out later on a course to get that instant visa. Saved me the money. I gave it to tzedakah instead. Don't worry, I didn't keep it. But, I had a bunch of things, crazy things like that. Wild stuff like that. Once I had it in an airport, somebody stole some money. I had cash on me. It was tzedakah money. We went to Kivot Tzadikim, and by each cave you're supposed to give tzedakah, otherwise the tzadik doesn't help you. So the guys gave me tzedakah by each cave, and there was 20 of us, 18 of us, I don't know how many, and we went to 30 graves in Europe. So it was a decent sum, 8,000 euros I think it was. And I put it down, I don't know what I did, somehow it disappeared. Now, it's my responsibility, so I made peace with it, fine, so I took a loss, I'll pay it, no, it's tzedakah, it's a big deal. But then I said, wait a second, why should the money go to some guy, some thief? For what? I said, I'm going to give the money either way to tzedakah. But why should some guy get that money? Send it back to me. And then I said, wait, it says that you'll be safe from any tzara. This is a tzara to lose money. I thought my house, exactly, but if in the study on top of the shelf, the sperm shelf, there's the lulav is over there, and the arava is this way. I'm imagining this in my mind. And while I'm imagining, thinking about the shape, where it is exactly in my mind, one of these TSA, it wasn't in the US, it was in Germany, in Frankfurt Airport, whatever they call themselves over there, comes to me and says, sir, we saw on the cameras that you were this and this guy, this box, this bag, it matches what you're carrying, you left this here, and he hands me the money. Wild. Wild. I was in the middle of imagining it in my mind, I didn't even get to finish. Okay, hands me the money. That's because when the Kabbalim wrote these things, not the made-up zgulot of today, they meant what they were saying. It wasn't stam. There's big, big, deep things in this. It's not. So, here's a mitzvah. It costs you $5. Takes 30 seconds to do, and it can protect you for the entire year. So it would be stupid to waste it. Use it. Take advantage of it. Hashem gave you a protection. Take advantage of it. It's an amazing thing. And I don't know if I understood it right, but if I understood what Reb Chaim Falaji means right, not only because to protect you, like the examples that I gave in situations in this world, even from Milchemet Gog Magog and Yemot HaMashiach, the Arava has the power to protect you as well. That's already the big leagues. Oh, that's a pretty good deal. To seal a deal that way, that's beyond the big leagues. That's a whole different. That's a whole different thing. And
switch it in the middle of the holiday because it gets dark.
I'm talking about the. Oh yeah, I'm talking about that and the lulav and the hadasim and the aravot. And if you switch it in the holidays, you save both, because anyway the old ones you can't throw out because you used it for a mitzvah, so you have to save it either way. So then, yeah. That's that. Now I tell you another thing. A lot of times people come to me and say, Yaakov, I feel that my mazal is locked. My luck is locked. Everything I try, like a shlemazel, everything goes wrong. I buy real estate here, the prices go down. I buy in Manhattan, Bellagio comes out with his craziness. I buy this, everything I do, something goes wrong. What do I do? So you have to know if you're supposed to answer such a question at all, for a bunch of reasons. Number one, if you answer it, you're arrogant. None of us know why and how. We're not Nevi'im, and we're not that, and we don't have Ruach HaKodesh. Maybe Rav Chaim Kanievsky does, but I definitely don't. But on the other hand, if you don't answer a person like that, he's in a time of need. So you're going to leave a Jew in a time of need without a chizuk, without an eitzah. So you're going to tell him, Ein mazal Yisrael. No. He doesn't believe that, obviously. He says that his mazel is closed. Besides, there's a lot of contradictions in Chazal. We once gave a whole shir about it, if you remember. Chazal say, "Hakol tadli b'mazel, afilu sefer Torah shebaychal." Everything has mazel. Chida writes, what does it mean, afilu sefer Torah shebaychal? Which sefer Torah is going to be read which day is also mazel. Sometimes the sefer Torah sits in the shul, is never used. A different sefer Torah is used every week. One had good mazel, one didn't have good mazel. So, you see clearly there is mazel. So what do we do to open up our mazel? That our mazel should be opened in a good way. We should have good luck this year. Things should work out. What do we do? So here's another little trick. Tonight we're sharing the tricks in the bag. It's brought down a few Sifrei Kabbalah, and it's also brought down in Ta'amei Minagim. Each one brings it down a drop different, but the idea, the conclusion is the same. After we do Hallel this morning, before we start doing the Hoshanot, I don't know the way you guys tied Yulavim, but at least the way my father's custom was, we put 3 knots to tie the Hadassim and that together with, Mitzvah Igud. Then we add on 1 or 2 on top on the Lulav itself, on the top part. That was our custom. I think most of the Klal Yisrael does it that way. Even though Al Pi Halakha you don't have to, it's not a halakha thing. It's a matter of what you saw by your grandfather. So the Ta'amei Minagim brings down, after Hallel, before the Hoshanot, you should cut open the knots of the top part of the Lulav. And he writes over there, and with that, it's as if you're Kavyachol opening up the Shechina from his exile. And Midah Keneged Midah, Hashem says his name is Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. The way you behave with me, I'm going to behave with you. So you opened up my quote-unquote luck, whatever that means, I'm going to open up yours in return. And he says that's Badukum Nused, it opens up a person's mazel in his life. In other Sifrei Kabbalah it says that during those Shanot, you should also open up 2 out of the 3 of the other ties too. And after those Shanot, you should open up the last one as well. Because you have to leave one, they should be igud, you can't just open them all. But that's, other Sifrei Kabbalah add that on as well. But you see, even in a simple pi'ulah, a simple action, what deep things and what deep kavanot there are on things, and how much it can affect the person, and how much difference it can make in olamot elyonim. It's an unbelievable thing. Tzaddik, do me a favor. You get this to go into there. אלו של הלולב, לא של ההדסים והרבות.
כן, למעלה אמרת לי...
למעלה אחרי הלל לפני הושענות. ואלו שבזה, אבל אחד להשאיר כמובן, 2 האחרים, או תלוי במנהג כמה אנשים שמים,
באיזה הקפה?
לעשות אחרי ההקפה הראשונה 1 ולפני ההקפה שביעית עוד 1. זה פותח את המזל, כך כתוב בספרי קבלה. Kavyachol, you're being matir the Shechina, you're opening up the Shechina somehow. Thank you very much. I'm sorry that I troubled you. It's whatever that means. I don't know. Don't ask me what that means because certain things I just can't explain. But whatever that means, you're somehow opening up the. And Midah Keneged Midah, Hashem says you did for me, and I'm going to do for you, and I'm going to open up your mazel now. It's an unbelievable thing. Besides, there's a lot of other rimazim. This is already not so good. There's a lot of rimazim and what this means, and that. There is a thing, and this, I tried this last year for somebody, and it worked. And somebody that used to come to the shir, Baruch Hashem, now she's a wife, she can't come to the shir, she's busy. There is a thing that if you're mechaven for a specific person the right way, for a shidduch, especially if it's for a girl, I don't know if it'll work for a boy, but for a girl, it works. Okay. When you open up the thing with last year I did it for, I guess by default, you're right. Last year I did at the top. Last year I did it thinking about somebody who used to come to the shir, and I used to see her and they ate my heart out, and I wanted, And Baruch Hashem, a few months after she got engaged, she's married now, Baruch Hashem. And every week that I don't see her, I have big nachat. I say, thank God, she's busy with her husband, she can't come to the shir, what could be better? So it works. I saw it myself. It's the first time I tried it was last year, and I saw that it works. And it comes from the same b'china, because it's a musag of opening up. It's opening up Sharei Shamayim. The Sharei Shamayim are already open, but it's opening up even further. And then there's other rimazim in it, what it means, that the lulav is like a vav, and what it means to open it, and that, okay. In the levush it says there's also ribuy simcha, whatever that means, because the lulav shakes better when it's loose, so it brings more simcha to the mitzvah, and that also brings down good good hashpos from shamayim. And there's a long list of reasons behind this. But there is such a thing, this obviously works. This obviously works. By the way, many ask why don't we say a blessing when we do the mitzvah of the chavatat ta'arava? So number one, the answer is because it comes from a minhag, not from halacha, and we don't make a blessing on a custom. But number two, it's also based on what we explain. It's very simple. Because if the whole purpose is to knock out the Yetzer Hara, we don't want to make a blessing on the Yetzer Hara. That much we don't, that much credit we're not giving him. Even on the slaughtering him, we don't want to make a blessing. We want nothing to do with him. Not the good, not the bad. Stay away and have a good day. That's literal. That's literal. Fine. So that was part A. Part B. We were in the sukkah 6 days ago. He said on the 7th day. Shiva Shpizini Lain Kadishin. That's what we were taught, right? Ulu Shpizin, the 7 Shpizin. I want to throw you a little bit of a curveball. The Zohar actually has an argument if the 7 Shpizin or not. The Zohar, B'Pashtut of Shem Baruch learned there is no 7 Shpizin. There's 6 Shpizin. And one of the Shpizin comes twice. And tonight, based on what we said earlier, we could actually understand the Zohar for the first time. The Zohar says there's Avraham Avinu, there's Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron, Yosef. He skips David. Avraham comes back on the 7th day. That's what it says in the Zohar. Then the Zohar brings a second opinion that Rav Yaakov said, no, David HaMelech comes on the 7th day. But the Rav Shimon himself learned that there was 6 Ushpizin and Avraham came on the 7th again. There are stilot in the Zohar. If you know Zohar well, you'll be able to tell me. There are other quotes in other places that say otherwise. But this is from the Tikkunei Zohar and Pashat Emor. Why would it be like that? That Avraham comes the first, he already came, no? And then he comes. But based on what we said, it's very simple. If Avraham Avinu was the 21st generation, and he's the koach of the 21st day of Hoshana Raba, and the 21st day is the 7th day of Sukkot, so by definition he has to come back. He's the one who takes care of us. And how did he take care of us? Midah keneged midah. Avraham Avinu did achnasat orchim even when it was hard for him. So midah keneged midah, Hashem said, Achayecha, I'm going to do for your children. So Hashem does for us achnasat orchim, that he takes us into the sukkah. That's why he comes back. Now it could be it's not a contradiction, that David HaMelech comes and Avraham Avinu comes, and that's why we read the Tehillim tonight, because tonight's the night of David HaMelech. David HaMelech has a big power in Shamayim. He always does, but tonight, alachat kama v'kama. Could be that's another way to understand this, the contradiction in the Zohar, that they both come. Besides that, there is one place in the Zohar that it says that every night all 7 come. Just there's one that leads everybody and the other ones follow. So if we learn like that, then it's not a question at all. It just says that Abraham becomes the leader again on the 7th night, but of course. But it could be many ways. Now about the holidays itself. So the Torah brings down Orach Chaim Sivan Taf Yud Zayin in the name of his brother, that the 3 regalim are kineged the 3 avot HaKadoshim, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Comes the Torah and says, Pesach is Avraham Avinu. Why? We see in the Pasuk, Avraham told his wife, Lushi v'asi ugot, Chazal learned out, it was matzot she made. So Avraham Avinu was Pesach. Shavuot is Yitzchak Avinu. Because when they got the Torah, so the shofar of Yitzchak, of the Elo Shel Yitzchak, blew by Matan Torah. So Shavuot, Keneged Matan Torah, Yitzchak Avinu. Sukkot is Yaakov. Why? Because the Pasuk says, Ulumikneyu, and for his cattle, Asa Sukkot. He made Sukkot. This is what the Torah writes. All the Mefarshim right away ask, Meila Avraham, yeah, Chazal learned out, there could be, he made Matzot then. Yitzchak also, there's a direct link. Yaakov made a sukkah for his cattle. So he made for his cattle, so that's why we have a mitzvah sukkah. Like, what type of connection is that? Huh?
He went to Sukkot for 2 years.
Okay, well that, it's also Ma'inyan Shemitah Sinai. They all ask that. There's a lot of explanations on it. The simple understanding is this. The whole idea of Sukkot is same dirat keva v'ikanes dirat arai. Remember that this world goes by very quickly. You don't have to get upset about every little thing. Yaakov Avinu l'miknei went his possessions on Sukkot. He left it outside, meaning that wasn't his main thing in life. He had more important things. Titen emet liYaakov, he was looking for Torah. Titen emet liYaakov, he was looking for the Torah. So Mele Yaakov Avinu is like the sukkah, the idea of the sukkah. Fine. But there are many other Mefashim. This is the Torah brought down from his brother. Many other Mefashim say other things. For example, in some of the Mefashim, it's brought down already in the Rishonim, that Sukkot is Keneged Aaron HaKohen. Because Aaron was Ohev Shalom Verodef Shalom, right? Mishnah Navot, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Yud. And the sukkah is called Aporei Sukkat Shlomo Aleinu, Sukkat Shalom. Sukkat Shalom Aleinu. The sukkah brings peace. Lo Aleinu, a lot of people don't really feel that way on Sukkot. It's sad. But if we would be normal, then Sukkah would bring us peace. Because we would understand, the world's arai, and when the world's arai, you're going to fight with somebody, tomorrow's going to be gone. It makes no sense. Right? So in theory, at least, the Sukkah is supposed to bring peace. Fos Aleinu Sukkat Shlomecha, many times we say this in the prayer. So therefore, we have to understand, okay, but that's a word game. So Aaron made peace, and the Sukkah brings peace somehow, so therefore, there got to be more to that. It's nice, it sounds good, got to be something a little, got to be more. So the Gemara in Sukkah says unbelievable things. Gemara Sukkah Daf Yud Aleph Amud Bet. The Gemara brings Machloket Tanaim. What type of Sukkot did the Jews have in the desert? Right, it says in the Vayikra Chaf Gimel Mem Gimel, the pasuk says, "Ki basukot ashavti bnei Yisrael b'otzi otam eretz Mitzrayim." I sat the Jews in the Sukkot. So the Gemara has machloket. Rabbi Eliezer says they had ananei hakavod. They had some sort of clouds that protected them. Rabbi Akiva says Sukkot mamash asu lahem. They had literal Sukkot. They had some sort of structures, an actual structure that was protecting them. If we hold that and by the way, la halacha, it says in the Torah that a person should have kavanah when he eats in the sukkah for both. He's doing a mitzvah, zech la'ananei hakavod and zech l'sukkot mamash, and also zech l'yitziat mitzvah. Everything, package deal, just to be safe, cover all grounds. But if we hold that the sukkot was made l'zech la'ananei hakavod, which by the way was the simple understanding in other gemarot that that's what there was in the midbar ananei hakavod, so we can understand very simple. If the whole reason why we have the mitzvah sukkah is keneged ananei hakavod, there's a Gemara Masechet Ta'anit Daf Tet Amud Aleph that the Gemara says, why did the Jews in the desert merit to have ananei hakavod? Comes the Gemara and says, in the merit of the righteousness of Aaron HaKohen. If that's the case, Aaron HaKohen brought the ananim, and we do this in memory of the ananim, so in resemblance of the ananim. So sukkah is keneged Aaron HaKohen. That would be. But believe it or not, the Zohar doesn't agree, not with the Bavli, and not with the Tur. Obviously, the Zohar was before the Tur, but way before. But meaning not with the idea, not with this pshat, with none of this. The Zohar says a fact, like a blank statement. Sukkot, what's Sukkot? Da Avraham. That's Avraham Avinu. Case closed. You want to know what Sukkot is? Avraham Avinu. And the Mefarshim speak a lot. What's the connection of Avraham Avinu with Sukkot, and why does Zohar go and say it just without? It must have been so simple to them. They didn't even feel a need to prove it or anything. What are we missing? What's the blanket statement here? So the Zohar, there's a lot of Mefarshim about this. A lot of Mefarshim about this. We're just going to go one shot. It says in the Torah, Kol Ezrach b'Yisrael yeshu b'Sukkot, right? That all Jews, that Am Yisrael has to sit in Sukkot. Who's the Ezrach? Kol Ezrach b'Yisrael. You could say Kol Yisrael yeshu b'Sukkot. All the Jews should sit in Sukkot. So Chazal learning Gemara Masechet Bava Batra Daf Vav Amud Aleph. The Gemara says Ezrach ze Avraham Avinu. When it says Ezrach in the pasuk, it's referring to Avraham Avinu. Why? Because in Tehillim Perek Pei Tet pasuk Aleph, Avraham is titled Eitan HaEzrachi. If that's the case, that would link him to Sukkot already. Kol Ezrach b'Yisrael, Hashem names Sukkot after Avraham Avinu. Yeshu b'Sukkot. That's why the Zohar wrote that Avraham Avinu has a link to Sukkot. So we can go a little further with this. There's a Midrash Rabbah that says, in Bereshit Rabbah Memchet Yud, The Midrash Rabbah says, Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu Avraham, HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Avraham Avinu, Ata amarta, you said, V'yishanu tachat ha'etz, that they should be under the tree, when he was looking for guests, and he brought them. Chayecha shani porea lebanecha, I swear that I'll repay your children, Bamidbar, will they'll be in the desert, B'yishuv ula'atid lavo, 3 times. When they'll be in the desert, when they'll live later on, and also in the days of Mashiach. Bamidbar minayin, how do we know in the desert? So it says over there that Hashem made the Anan Masach, He covered them. Avraham Avinu covered his guests with the tree, told him to sit by the tree, get shade. Hashem gave us Ananei HaKavod because of that. And when they dwell in the land, so where do we know that? Basukot Teshu Shivat Yamim, we got a mitzvah of Sukkot. So here we see clearly in the Midrash, that the Midrash learned that Sukkot is Keneged Avraham Avinu. La'atid lavo minayin, in the future when? So the pasuk says, "Sukkah tiyeh l'tzel yomam mechorev." We're talking about la'atid lavo. Right? So that's that. We have to understand this. So the Kli Yakar has a sefer called Siftei Da'at. So in Parashat Ha'azinu, the Siftei Da'at over there elaborates on this midrash a lot. And he writes, what did Avraham tell the Malachim? Hishanu tachat ha'etz is part of a pasuk. There's another part to that pasuk. Yukach na ma'at mayim. Take a little bit of water. V'achatzu raglechem, and wash your feet. V'yishanu tachat ha'etz, and relax in the shade. Was Avraham Avinu in the spa business? Did he run a pedicure place? He invented hammer and nails. No, that's what it says. Hey, water, feet, that's what it sounds like. Huh? So Chazal say no, it's more serious than that. And because of this thing, we got Sukkot, right? So we have to understand what it is. And not only do we get Sukkot, by the way, and because of this thing, we also get Parnosa. Because Mayim is Geshem, Geshem is Parnosa. Comes a Kli Yakar, it says that Avraham Avinu was sitting outside, it was Chichom Hayom, he had a big tzar that he didn't have guests, and he did it because the mitzvah was Chaviv Alo. And he finally found guests, and he wanted to take them in. But there was a problem. He was scared they were of their Avodah Zarah, the idol worshippers. And he didn't want their idol worshipping feet to walk into his house. But he couldn't tell him, your idol worshippers, you're disgusting and I gotta wash you off before I bring you in. So he did it in a polite way. You probably were on the road and you're tired and you're this and you're that and you're the other. And my Rebbe, a lot of times I would bring him in people, and he was able to see on a person's face what he's holding by in life, through and through. Sometimes a little bit scary. I used to go into him a lot of times, I wear my kippah on my forehead so he shouldn't see. He would laugh at me and say, Yaakov, there's no way to hide from me. Don't waste your time. But he was able, he looked, he knew Chochmat HaPartzuf. On the face, he was able to see everything about a person. So I would bring him in people, and there were some people that didn't yet get close to Hashem. They came to shake his hand out of respect, the rabbi, to get a blessing, and he didn't want to touch the Rosh's hand. So he used to wear a talis most of the time, talis and tefillin most of the day, whatever, or a big part of the day. He would take his talis and wrap it around his hand and shake the guy's hand like that. The guy felt holy. Look, the rabbi shake with the talit, in his mind is holy. He didn't realize the rabbi doesn't want to shake his hand. That's the chokhmah of an Adam Gadol, that he knew how to beat around the problem without hurting the other guy's feelings. It's an unbelievable thing. It's an unbelievable thing. But anyway, besides, Al Pi Kabbalah, there's a whole thing that Friday night, for example, until after Kiddush, you don't shake anybody's hand that didn't go to the mikveh. If you went to the mikveh, whatever. Now, we're not no egg like that because we're not so holy, but if we were, then we would be no egg like that. My grandfather used to walk home from shul with 2 big bundles of adassim in his hands, and he would give everybody to smell besamim. Once he told me, number one, of course, I want them to make a blessing on me to say amen. It's a big schut. But the real reason is I'm a rabbi. Everybody's going to come to kiss my hand, and I want them to touch me. I want to be able to walk into the house with the malachim, pure, the way I purified myself before Shabbat. Now, I'm not going to tell somebody I'm not going to shake his hands like this. I hold him adassim, so I did him a favor. So now I'm on his good side, and that's it. We solved the problem, politically correct. So then I told him, my grandpa, I see some people grab your hand anyway and kiss it. And I don't see you pulling your hand away. So he told me if somebody pulls a righteous person's hand, he didn't realize what he was saying about himself. He just, he was a big honor, but sometimes he didn't realize. That means that his neshama is dying for kedusha. That's already a tzaddik. That's something else. Interesting observation. You want to be connected to a righteous person? That makes you righteous in your own merit already. Pella, that Pella. How much of that Pella? No, so Avraham Avinu didn't want Avodah Zarah, those who fight God in his house. But he did want them in his house because he wanted to bring them closer. So he found the politically correct way to get them to wash off from their Avodah Zarah, to purify themselves on some superficial level, and then to bring them into the house and help them further, help them grow further. Because Baruch Hu said, you had it so thought out to be sensitive to people's spirituality, but at the same time not hurt their feelings, and to do everything in such a well-balanced way. Chayecha, I'm going to pay your kids back forever, that when I deal with them, I'm also going to deal with them b'midat chesed, very gently, and everything will be very gentle. And that's why, Dafka on Hoshana Raba, when the Mekatreg and the Gvurot Adinim are strong, we use the Schut of Avraham Avinu. And the Schut of the Sukkah, of the 6th day, the 7 days by now, right? We're on the 7th day of the Sukkah. That this Sukkah that resembles purifying yourself in a gentle way, in a loving way, and b'midat chesed, is the way we want to be Lifnei Hashem Titaru, that Hashem should give us midat chesed, midat rachamim always. That's the big koach of Sukkot. It's an unbelievable thing. It's a big yisod of Sukkot. Sfat Emetz is a much simpler thing. He says, Avraham Avinu, Hashem told him, Lech lecha me'artzecha, go out of your house. And he listened. Sukkah is go out of your house. So of course Avraham Avinu bought Sukkot. That's the Sfat Emet, with his sharpness. Everything was simpleton. But okay, there's many different pshatim. But I can't go without saying one pshat from the Gaon Vilna. The Gaon Vilna writes, it is brought down in his Sefer Divrei Eliyahu on Parashat Chayei Sarah, that once on Chol HaMoed Sukkot, he asked his students, how do you know from the Torah that Avraham Avinu kept the mitzvah of Sukkot, that he sat in a sukkah? Avraham Avinu was before Matan Torah. He was before the Ananei HaKavod also. There was no Zecher. So how do you know he sat in the sukkah? And they didn't know how to answer, it says. They were quiet, they didn't know what to answer. So then they turned to the Rebbe and they said, Rebbe, no, so what's the answer? So the Gaon says, very simple. The Pasuk says that Avraham was Ba Bayamim, V'Hashem beirach et Avraham bakol, and Hashem blessed Avraham with everything. So what's everything? So Rashi brings down that he had a daughter and her name was Bakol. Others explain other things. There's all different pirushim, the Rishonim, what Bakol means, the Chazal, but there's a Midrash Pliyah. The Midrash Pliyah says that Hashem berach Avraham Bakol, sheyashav basukkah, that he sat in the sukkah. So the Gaon says, what does Bakol have to do with sukkah? What does one have to do with the other? It's not even the same numeric value. Like, well, what's the connection? So the Gaon told him, a genius of a pshat. He said, when the Torah gives us the mitzvah Sukkot, it's brought down in 3 psukim. Basukot teshvu shivat yamim, sit in the Sukkot 7 days, pasuk number 1. Kol ha'ezach b'Yisrael yishvu basukot, everybody should sit in a sukkah. Why? L'man yidu dorotechem, ki basukot hashavti et bnei Yisrael. The Rashi Teivot of each beginning of a pasuk, basukot teshvu bet. Kol ha'ezach b'Yisrael chaf. L'man yidu dorotechem lamed. Hashem berach Avraham bakol. He gave him those 3 psukim of the mitzvah of sukkah. And that's the biur in this Midrash Pliyah, that Avraham got the blessing of sukkah. So even Avraham Avinu had to get a special blessing to be able to sit in the sukkah. So of course, how blessed are we that we were able to sit in the sukkah. Poresh sukkah shalom aleinu. It's an unbelievable thing. We were able to sit in the sukkah. And this year, I'll tell you, I don't know what went on in Queens. I just got here tonight, but I can tell you on the Jersey end of things, we had some windy days. And a lot of our Sukkot went flying to Shamayim, more or less. Problem is, then they came back down to the Aretz too. At least if they would have stayed up, it would have been better. At the beginning, I felt uncomfortable with it, because the Gemara does say if it rains, it's not a good sign. Siman kalach chas v'shalom, and that, because it says if Hashem tells you He doesn't want you in the Sukkah, He said He had His Sukkot blew away. Even, to me, it sounded even worse at the beginning. I have a friend who learns Chavrusa with Rav Chaim Kanievsky every day. It's not a bad thing to have friends like that. And so I right away contacted him. I said, what did Reb Chaim say? Because in Israel they also had very big winds, and many Sukkot blew away also. In America it's normal we have winds like that, but in Israel they don't have that normally. So he asked Reb Chaim right away, and Reb Chaim said, no, the Gemara says specifically rain on the first night of Sukkot, that's all we're talking about. It's not a bad sign at all. Right. I still didn't understand it, but I said, okay, Chaim said, said, Baruch Hashem. I was calm, but But then I was exposed to an amazing thing. I still have it on my phone. You know, I don't save much on my phone, thank God. Or unfortunately, there's very little few things I find worth saving. In Lakewood, this guy started a WhatsApp group chat, and from one it went viral to a bunch. If you have extra schach or an extra sukkah or have extra space in your sukkah or are willing to go rebuild somebody else's sukkah, you post what's available or what your need is. Hundreds of messages every hour. My sukkah blew down this address. 30 seconds later, we will be there in 3 minutes. We'll be there in 4 minutes. People running to go help. I need a 6x8 mat, schach mat. Fight! I'll give you one. One guy had a store that he would sell sukkot. On sukkot, he's normally closed. He opened his store on Chol HaMoed. Everything's free. Whoever got a sukkah room, come take whatever you want. I said, maybe that's why Hashem did it. You know what a limud zchut that is on Klal Yisrael? I saw names, some of the numbers I recognize, because I'm friends with a lot of people in town. Prestigious business people, wealthy guys that, I would expect them to be on vacation somewhere in the world. A busy posting, I'm coming to help you build a sukkah. The guy didn't build his own sukkah, he brought a construction crew. But another Jew's in need, boom, he goes running to help. What a Kiddush Hashem. What an achdut, what a v'yasu kulam agudah achat. That's more than the sukkah. That sukkah was more than the sukkah, that mitzvah. They showed Hashem live how they keep the sukkah, how they care about each other. Unreal. An amazing thing. It's a big limud zchus on Klal Yisrael. You see it. Hashem's kids, God's not bankrupt. He has beautiful kids that do beautiful, beautiful things. Beautiful kids that do beautiful things. And this is big stuff. And we should always remember that. We should always think and talk positive about Klal Yisrael, because we don't even have to make it up. We see it live all the time. And here's just one example. You can look on my WhatsApp. I'll show you the chat. It's unreal. And then you have people posting pictures. This broke. How do I fix it? And the other guy's giving them construction advice. Buy this or use this or do it that way, this way. I don't know anything about construction. I can't put a screw into a wall. Now I'm very educated, at least in theory. I didn't try it, but at least in theory. Because I was watching this. This was like a Musa Sefer to me. I was like, look what chesed is going on. This is unreal. This is an amazing thing. Then of course there's always the emotional, touching stories. One guy posted he's on the way to the hospital with his kid because his kid's not feeling well and his sukkah blew down. He doesn't know he's going to come home. So could people help him build the sukkah, but he's not even going to be there. Right away they jumped on it and that. Erev Yom Tov, right before Yom Tov, he posted, just got back home with my son, he's feeling much better. And he posted a picture of a gorgeous sukkah. He says, my sukkah is 10 times nicer than when I built it originally. Thank you so much, you don't know what it means to me. Here's a guy who was going through a hard time, a kid, Alena was sick, Hashem shall be shavah for Shlema. Comes home to such a thing. You know what that does in Shamayim? You know what Kosh Baruch Hu says about such people? He says, look at my children. And I'm telling you, this wasn't only young kids that volunteered at that time, which is also a miracle in today's generation that a teenager should lift a finger. But I'm talking about 40, 50-year-old business people, wealthy guys, friends of mine. They were running around like construction workers. And I can promise you they did not build their own sukkot. And I know that for a fact. Because they offered me to use their crews to build my sukkah. So I know they didn't build their own sukkot. But for another yeet, let's go do it. It's a mitzvah. Let's go help out. It's an amazing thing. That's Kol HaEzrach B'Yisrael Yeshuv HaSukkot. Everybody in Klal Yisrael is a sukkah. On Thursday we said, so let's say a Baditch v'chidush on Sukkot. He says that he had a minhag, that he used to invite to the sukkah guests, and he would prefer to find guests that aren't tzaddikim. The pchutim sheba'am, let's call them the ones that didn't reveal God yet. And they asked him why, if anything, the sukkah is such a holy place, and that, Sfarim and Glushim right, even to talk to Vechulin in the sukkah you shouldn't do. So to go, dafka, bring in people. And he said it's very simple. When Mashiach comes, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to make a sukkah, sukkah Orosh Leviatan, a poreh sukkah Shalom Aleinu, that's the ultimate sukkah. He said, now I'm going to want to go in. Hashem's going to tell me, Levi Yitzchak, you're not worthy. And if that's what the Baditcheva said, what should we say about ourselves? Well, I don't want to think about it. He says, I'm going to tell God, I have an answer for you. In my sukkah, I didn't discriminate. I took everybody in. So now you can't discriminate either. You got to take me in too. That's what Levitzli said. What did he teach us over here? Because Baruch Hu judges you the way you judge others. If you push away other people because you don't like what they're doing or who they are, then Hashem pushes you away because He doesn't like what you're doing either. But if you got open arms for everybody, Hashem says, I have open arms for you. Ehyeh asher ehyeh. That's the yesod of Hoshana Raba. You want to pass Hoshana Raba peacefully? You have to be in peace with yourself. You're willing to accept other people with their differences and with their flaws. And don't try to change them. Please, God doesn't need your help. He'll fix everybody. Live and let live. It's a good rule in life. Chaim Soloveitchik used to say that we got life all wrong. We're always busy worrying about other people's spirituality. And we're always busy worrying about our materialistic things. He says it should be just the opposite. We should always be busy worrying about other people's materialistic things and be busy worrying about our own spirituality. He says, because the other person's gashmiyut is your ruchaniyut. Sometimes, I don't go Shabbat to people, I just can't, it's not for me. But some people have patience to be invited out and go as guests, Ashrayim. Sometimes you're invited as a guest to somebody's house. You're starving, it's Friday night. You had a long week of work, you didn't eat all day. First, they go to a synagogue that prays an hour and a half, 2 hours as if it's Kippur. They read the page numbers. I don't know what they added into the Friday night davening by now. We're Sephardic Jews, we never had such a prayer Friday night. I don't know where they invented this stuff from. Then, the guy comes home, he thinks he's the Balasali. Starts reading Zohars that he doesn't understand, and Tikkunim. Hello, I'm your guest, I'm starving. I didn't come here to see you being a Baba, I came here to eat. You know, the Chavetz Chaim was a holy man, right? We all agree? He's not suspected to be lenient or left-wing. And the Chavetz Chaim had guests, he didn't even say Shalom Aleichem. He said, the angels don't need to eat, my guests need to eat. Straight Kiddush, immediately, boom, they should eat. In my house, we never say Shalom Aleichem, because thank God every Friday night there's always guests. We know you like the Chavetz Chaim. We come home, 30 seconds, Kiddush. Guys are hungry. Every Shiva boys, have people, they're starving. If we have non-religious guests, Kavachomer, they're definitely not interested in our Shalom Aleichem. What are you doing to them? What are you doing to them? Then the meal continues. Now the guy became a speaker. Starts saying Dvar Torah this, reading from the Zera Shimshon, reading from this one, reading from that one. He's reading. Hello, leave me alone. Feed me, give me a bed. That's Achnasat Orchim. Don't impose on me your Judaism. That's not Achnasat Orchim. Well, my guest asked me what time you go to Shacharit tomorrow. I said, I don't know. I said, what do you mean? I said, I don't know. I said, there's a minyan there at 9, a minyan there at 10, a minyan there at 8, a minyan. It's all different minyanim in the neighborhood. I'm not going to impose on him what I do. It's not. I said, the meal won't be before 12 o'clock, so he should feel comfortable to go as late as he wants. And if he doesn't want to go, he should feel comfortable not to go at all. That's a chasad dochi. He's my guest, not my preaching object. He's the person that have to be mechayah, that have to bring to life, not the person that have to kill, that should never want to come back. I had a boy came to me for Pesach a couple of years ago. Big neshama. The big neshamas are the ones that have the biggest struggles. Came for Pesach. Told me after Pesach, he had one observation that he has to say. I said, what? He said, in your house, you guys are machma chumras that nobody even heard of. You have a private shchita, private matzot, private everything. Everything's done. He said, but there's no pressure. Nobody feels it. Nobody would know it if we wouldn't ask and you wouldn't say. Everybody's chill. The Seder's relaxed. People sit back, have a good time, enjoy everything. He says that balance, to be able to keep halacha to the tiniest detail, but to still have the most chilled environment and everything should be. He says, I wish I grew up like that. So I never saw such a thing in my life before. He says, in my house, Pesachs don't breathe because the matzah might become chametz. I said, it's not my fault that your parents didn't know how to give over Judaism. What should I do? It's not my fault. I said, Baruch Hashem, you came somewhere that you got a Yiddishkeit in a normal way. Baruch Hashem. But then you got the flip side. Sometimes they come to your house and you're kilu the rabbi, so they do want to hear. So I found a great idea. Feed them well, give them a lot to drink. And they say the meal's now officially over. If somebody wants to stay by the table, fine, so we'll talk divrei Torah also. But at least you gave the option to the guys who want to go to sleep to not feel uncomfortable and they can go to bed. Eishel, Vaitav Ram Eishel. Believe it or not, one of the Rashi Tevot of Eishel is not speeches. Achila, Shtiya, Levaya, or Lina. Eating, drinking, and sleeping, or escorting them when they leave. He also told them to bless the God that gave them the food. Fine, congrats. But what made them close to Hashem? The chesed, the love that He gave everything over with. The love that He gave everything over with. That's what brought them closer to Hashem. That's what brought them closer to Hashem. In Israel, this is a semi-cute, semi-embarrassing story. In Israel, there's a town, it's not part of Eretz Yisrael, that's why I said Israel, called Eilat. It's Chutz La'aretz. It's a beach town, but it's nice over there. I went once with my wife to relax for a few days. Since then, I don't know what it means to relax, but then I thought I was going to relax at least. No. Some of you guys, I hope, are better husbands than I am and go more frequently out with your wives and whatever. But guys that on their clock is boys and girls' lives living or dying don't have that luxury. So by us, our custom is once in 10 years we try to go away for a day or two. That's more or less the way the minhag is by us. Fine. So this was about 10 years ago, because this year we went away again for 2 days. So it must have been about 10 years ago. Actually, I think it was 12 years ago. But we shouldn't talk. We went to Eilat. I always say, Limud Zchut, Eilat Rashi Tevot, Ein Yom Lelo Torah. There's no day that they don't learn Torah there. It's amazing from years ago what Eilat looked like. It used to be like Vegas, and today there's 600 kohen like they learn there every day. It's wild. They turned the place over, and then later on people maintained it. It's unbelievable what's going on there. It's unreal. Kiddush Hashem. It's a shame that they don't have the schus to live in Eretz Yisrael, because it's chutzlars. You know, in Shemitah, you can grow fruits there, whatever. I don't know if it grows there, but if things grow there, and eat it. There's no problem with Shemitah. It's regular chutzlars. You have to keep 2 days Yom Tov in Eilat. It's chutzlars. I'm there. You go with your wife after a bunch of years. It seems like that in the female gene, there's some addiction to going on walks. The only walk that I know is my front steps to my car. And even that takes a lot of thought. The big l'shem yichud and tfilat haderech. But okay, there's a mitzvah, v'simach et ishto, you gotta make your wife happy. But for some reason, it seems like that the walks have to be at like exotic times. Like 1 o'clock in the morning when you're jet lag after a flight, let's go on a walk on the beach. But, okay, I don't live with a biological clock. Anyway, Baruch Hashem for many years. Fine, 1 o'clock, yeah, walk, honey, shore, the beach, perfect. Couldn't be a better time to go. Right now. And we go, walking. A few drunks here and there, whatever, but not much going on. Then we get to a section that's already a little loud. There's these pubs that have open doors. Open doors. One of them had live music. An American band playing a song that I like. I don't know if I should promote songs now, so we'll skip that. A kosher, semi-kosher song at least. So I stopped to listen to the song. Man singer was 100% fine. Then I used to sing yeshiva boys standing outside listening to their music. So one of the Israelis made a comment to me. He said, like with attitude, you want to come in? So I told him, if the drinks are on you, yeah. I figured, he'll give me a dirty look, and with that will be over, and goodbye, I have no patience for this. He says, alai, on me. So I told him, my friend, I'm American, I have good taste. I don't drink this cheap whatever stuff that they serve here. You know, your bill's going to be big tonight. He tells me, you're a yeshiva boy, you don't know how to drink anyway. That's the worst thing to tell Yaakov. You never dare Yaakov at anything in life. That's the wrong way to go about things. I told him, what if I do? He says, you want to go shot to shot? I said, only if it's a bet. So he says, yeah, what's the bet? So I told him, here's the deal. If I win, I told him, I'll tell you the criteria of winning. To finish the shots, to stay sane and sober and not puke. I said, okay. I said, you're sure you're winning. So let's talk about your side first. I paid a whole alcohol tab on the night, and you get $1,000. American dollars. Yeah, she's watching, entertained. She's used to her husband's interesting. I said, but if I win, I'll still pay the bill, because I don't need your favors. I'll probably make a better living than you. But tomorrow you're going to put on tefillin. How, where, what's not my problem. You're going to figure it out. One day you'll put on tefillin. $1,000 versus one day tefillin. The Haredi boy doesn't know how to drink. This could be a cool social experiment. He says, let's do it. He says, I'm going to call a waitress. I said, no, let's not waste time. She come back, forth. We're going head to head. Let's go up to the bar together. We go up to the bar. I go to the bartender. I point that Don Julio bottle. I said, see that bottle? He said, yeah. I said, you got a beer mug? I said, yeah. I said, count me 8 shots. Put it in the mug. This guy just heard that, his face dropped. He was like, I got myself into trouble over here. He got like a little shot of, what they give you in the shtibel after shachris. In a plastic little cup, it's pachot mishishiur. I'm there with a beer mug. I'm telling you, I said the prayer of Shimshon HaGibor. I said, Hashem shomreini na'ach hapam hazeh, help me just this time. I don't drink a lot. Let this thing go by. I gotta fix this guy. This is the only way to catch him. Boom, in one shot, like nothing. Each shot, 16 ounces. Like nothing, like water. He's looking, he's like, I'm not even continuing. It's a done deal. I said, okay, tomorrow tefillin. The bartender was so he didn't get what was going on. He never saw something like this before. He started asking, who are you, where you from, what's your story, is your blood the same as ours, are you made out of the same thing? He started asking questions. A minute later, he brings the owner. Suddenly I became like the drunk at a bar, Everybody wants to talk to this crazy guy. I felt somewhere between happy and stupid. I said, let me seize the opportunity. I told him, guys, I'm a known speaker in the United States. The band did a great job, thank you very much. Give me the microphone, I want to say a speech. Only in Israel you can get away with this. The owner said, Tfaddal, go right ahead. But you got to explain us how you did this. I said, I'm going to explain it to you, but at the end. First I'm going to say what I want to say. Then I'll tell you how I did that also. I sat there. This bar was called the Monkeys Bar in Eilat. It still exists. In the Monkeys Bar in Eilat, I gave a speech from 1 a.m., 1:10 a.m. it was when I started, till 4:15 in the morning, nobody budged. They were like glued. And all the Meshuggahim from the bar, from outside, that were drunk. You got high people, sober people, drunk people. You got a little bit of everything in there. All types, all shapes and colors. Goyim, Jews, you name it, everybody was in the room. Spoke about Emunah, it's Hashem in the world. We could see him, we could prove him, we could feel him, we could connect him. Whole speech. Huh? Yeah. 4:15, they close. Fine, good night. I come to pay the tab. The owner says, you just entertained us for 3 hours. I got to pay you. Tells me, but I just realized you didn't tell us how you did that. I said, I'll come back tomorrow night. He tells me, I'm going to tell all my friends, tomorrow come, but come earlier so we don't have to be till 4 o'clock. And then what? The stage is yours. I went back the next night. Spoke there again the second night. Then for a few years later, every time I used to go to Israel, or every time I had the time when I was in Israel, I would fly out to Eilat for one evening, speak in the Monkeys, they would shut down the place, make the whole thing a Beis Medrash for one night, give a speech. I probably made 200, 300, 400 Baalei Tshuva over there, maybe even more. And one day the owner himself, he sold it, now it's a new owner already. He became a little closer to God. And he told me, I still don't understand how you did it. I said, let me tell you why I never said. I'm not hiding anything. I don't know either. I said, I knew that I'm ending up in the ER. I just had to get this guy to put on tefillin. That was what I was thinking. I said, I had nothing else in my mind. He said, you want to know where I got the idea from? I'll tell you where I got the idea from. So he said, yeah, let me hear. So I told him an amazing story. This happened with the Baditcho. There's a guy who was on the way Erev Kippur to Rabbi Yitzchak Baditchev to daven with his Rebbe. The holy Baditchev to daven on Kippur with the Baditchev. Imagine today we could daven with the Baditchev Yom Kippur. We would go across the world twice to get there. We'd go to Mars and back. He's on the way, and when he's on the way, there's three Jews on the middle of the road. There wasn't roads then, whatever it was, the mud, who stop his wagon. And they say that they have a critical situation. A Jew was taken captive, and they want 300 gold coins ransom to release him, Pidyon Shvuim. And could he help out? He said, I'll tell you the truth, I'm a pauper. I don't have any money. And the drop of money I had, I paid this wagon guy to take me. If I had a penny, I would give it to you. I don't have anything. But he said, why didn't you raise money in your own town? Why are you staying on the streets? So I said, well, you don't think we tried? But our town is very poor. In our whole town, we got the 6 gold coins. We need 300. So we said, we'll go out, maybe we'll find people to help. So he said, did everybody in the town contribute? So they said, everybody except for one group. He said, who's that group? He said, there's this group of people that are apikoros, they don't believe in God, they're anti-religious, they're this, they're that. So then we didn't even go to it. It's a waste of time. Not only aren't they going to help, they're going to do the opposite. He said. So this guy said, listen, money I don't have to give you, but I don't believe in giving up on anybody. You didn't go, I'm going to them. Where are they? This is Erev Kippur. He said they're in a bar. Erev Kippur, this is what these Jews have to do, they're getting drunk in a bar. So which bar, where is it? They tell him, he goes with the wagon to the bar. Sees 3 Jews that don't look like Jews, drinking, Erev Kippur. He goes over to them, he tells them, you know, somebody in your town was taken captive, Pidyon Shvuim, we need 300 gold coins, you guys are rich. Maybe you can contribute. The first guy starts yelling at him, you're crazy, this, that. It's our problem that he got captured. Next guy tells him we don't believe in charity. Each one gives him a speech. He doesn't give up. He says, you're Jews, you have a Jewish heart. We're Bnei Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Our brother's in trouble, we have to help a brother in need. So one of the guys figured, you know what, this guy's crazy. Let's have fun with him. So he tells him, listen, I'll make you a deal. He takes a whole bottle of vodka. He says, if you drink the entire bottle in one shot, I'll give you 100 gold coins. He thought to himself, I have no way to give money, at least let me get money. Opened up the bottle, shakol ni'avid varo, drank the whole bottle. And by them, a word is a word. 100 gold coins. His friend saw it, he liked this. He says, this guy's so sick in the head, we're going to get him to die over here. Tells him, next bottle, another 100 gold coins. Next. Third guy, another 100 gold coins. Now he has the 300. They ended up with extra, 306 instead of 300. He was so drunk, they dragged him to the wagon, dumped him in the back, and the wagon driver took him to Baditchev to the shul. Came to the shul, he was drunk, he was passed out. The wagon driver didn't know chokhmas. He pulled him out, dragged him into the synagogue, dumped him on a bench, and left. Now it's Erev Kippur, right before Kippur. Everybody's doing Sudam Afseke, they're getting ready for Kippur. And this guy is laying drunk, passed out on the back of the Baditchev Rebbe's shul. No, the hours go by, people come to daven. They come to daven, they see a drunk laying on the back shelf. They say, what disrespect, this guy's crazy. To come to the Baditchev Rebbe's shul, Erev Kippur, drunk and lay. They start yelling at him, kicking at him, spitting at him. Like, get out of here. He doesn't wake up. He's out cold. Finally, they said, okay, we'll ignore him. They covered him with talit. And, each one had to get ready. Tfilat zakah, whatever he had to do. The Baditchev comes into shul. And he goes to start his Avodat Hayom Yom Kippur. And he opens the Aron Kodesh to take out the Sifrei Torah for Kol Nidrei. What a holy moment. As he opens up the Aron Kodesh, this drunk guy suddenly starts waking up a little bit. He looks up and he sees the open Aron Kodesh. Now when you're drunk, you're not so coherent. So he forgot that it was Kippur and he came to Baditchev to daven with Rav Yitzchak, and that's why he's there. He was still under the influence. So to him, his association of alcohol and Aron Kodesh and opening it up was on Simchat Torah we drink. And when we open the Aron Kodesh on Simchat Torah, we say, Ata Aleit Ladat. So he started screaming out loud, Ata Aleit Ladat. Now the congregants in the shul got even more upset. Not only are you drunk, at least before you were quiet, now you're making a ruckus here. So they were going to go to attack him. Rav Yitzchak stopped them. And he said, my friends, I want to tell you something. When I opened up the Aron Kodesh, I didn't take out the Sefer Torah right away. Because in Shamayim there was a terrible decree on the Jewish nation, and it looked like this year was going to be very bad news. And I was scared to take out the Sefer Torah. He said, when this drunk Jew screamed, Ata Oreit Eladat, Hashem saw what made him come to the shul drunk, what a risk he was willing to take to save another Jew's life. And Hashem said, his tefillas are worth more than everything that everybody's going to daven in Yom Kippur, and he erased the decree. He's the holiest man in here. Now we could start calling it day. So I told this guy who then was the owner of that bar, from there I saw that sometimes, if you got to drink a beer mug of tequila in order to make a Jew frum, so be it. That's also a sacrifice that sometimes you have to make. Not everybody. You have to be able to do it right and to handle it and to know you'll succeed. Those are the conditions. But under those circumstances, it's an unbelievable thing. You see the karch of a Jew, you never know which tefillah, who, what, when, where, why. You never know. You never know. Sometimes one tefillah of one little child could do more in Shamayim than all the tefillahs of the biggest tzaddikim, because that kid really means it. It comes from his heart. It comes from a pure place. And other people not. It's known that Rav Yitzchak, when his Baal Tokeh passed away, he needed a new Baal Tokeh, one to blow the shofar Hoshana. So he interviewed many Baalei Tokeh. And each one told him, he used to ask him, which kavanot do you have? So one guy said, is the kavanot of this rabbi, the kavanot of that one, these names. And each one he said, no, he pushed them all away. One guy came in and he said, which kavanot do you have? So he said, I'll tell you the truth. There's a tkiyah, a shvarim, and a turah, and a tkiyah. I have 4 single daughters at home that need to get married, and I'm broke and I can't afford to find them husbands and to marry them off. By the tkiyah, I have kavanah for my first daughter. By the shvarim for my second one. By the turah for my third one. By the last tkiyah for my fourth. The Radishva said, you're hired. You're about tokeh. So they asked him, Rebbe, come on. This guy doesn't know nothing. The other guys were big Kabbalists. This is what you took? He said, this guy at least means what he's thinking. The other guys is theoretical to them. And Hashem wants to see what's real. By him it's real. He got a real problem. And this is what his Emunah Pshuta tells him is the real solution. And we open up a Tehillim now soon, and daven to Hashem, if we understand that we have a real situation, and we need the help of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and everything's in His hands, and it's in His hands to give us the ability to make the right choices, and to write ourselves the right future and the right book this year, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells us, Salachti Kedvarecha, you got it, take it, it's all yours. Because just like by Nihila, all the Sharei Shamayim were open, right now in Shamayim, it's even more open. By Nihila, we said, Ptach lanu sha'ar, open us a gate, be'eit nihilat sha'ar, at the time that the gates are closing. You have to understand, if the gates are closing, that means they're not closed yet. So what's Ptach lanu sha'ar, open us a gate? Many Mefarshim asked that question. Each one has a different answer. I saw one of the big Sifrei Kodesh that he writes, that by Nihila we pray, Ptach lanu sha'ar, open us a gate, and Hoshana Raba, be'eit nihilat sha'ar. Before the Pitkaot, make sure we have a gate then open that's greater than the gate that we have open now. That's the gate that's in Shamayim open right now. Everything's wide. Don't be the fool that goes to sleep that day. You gotta grab something. It says, we light candles, and that, just like Erev Kippur. We give tzedakah just like Erev Kippur. It actually says, we give more tzedakah than Erev Kippur, because it's more critical even on Hoshana Raba. Many things like that. Everything should be done with Kedusha, of course. And for those of us who had the chus to go to the mikveh before we came here, very good. For those who didn't, at least tomorrow before Yantiv, you can't come into Yantiv without going to the mikveh. Chayav adam tayarat tzma baregel. It's a chiyuv al pi halacha. It's not a joke. It's a serious thing. Little bit Kedusha, to have some concept of Kedusha, a little bit, some level at least. And all these things together, Be'ez Hashem will be mashpia on us, a big shefa, a big bracha, in Ruchnius and Gashmius and all the Inyanim Be'ez Hashem, and all the Inyanim. And each one will have what he needs, and in every way possible Be'ez Hashem. Will be zochel b'yad goel b'meirav yameinu.